water treatment systems. John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Salt Mine City is your go-to brewery in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their Big Fatty 7-ounce hamburger or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Hey guys, it's Nick. Join me and Jay Foreman this Friday night as we bring you Bellevue West versus Lincoln Southwest, live from Seacrest Field with kickoff scheduled for 7 p.m. Lincoln Southwest has won 2 games in a row thanks to a convincing 35-13 win versus Lincoln Northeast last week, and they now get ready to face off against the Thunderbirds. Pre-game is slated for 6:45 p.m. with kickoff expected at 7 p.m., and you can hear all the action between Bellevue West and Lincoln Southwest unfold right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, happy hump day? This is Jay Foreman. My man to my right is not Austin Orman. It's my man Harrison. I'm the 1 to 2 sitting in for Austin for the next couple of days while him and Nick are in Chicago covering Big Ten Media Days for basketball, men's and women's. But we're going to still hold the fort down.
It's crazy that they're doing that in 2 days, by the way. You got an 18-team conference and you're doing all men and all women in 2 days.
The Big Ten's doing it.
Yeah.
It's quick turnover.
Yeah, so the boys, plenty of work to do for them. I'll tell them that much while they're down there. That's all.
They better do something.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we ain't nobody heard from. Where are you? Hey, Husker fans, if you're in the Chicago area and you see Big Head Nick,
make sure
and
he's
my
working.
man Austin Orman, just snap a picture and just send it into the text line.
See if they're working or not.
Yeah. What's the number?
Or having a beer at
402-464-5685. We need to give them do we got anything to give away?
We can find something. We can probably give him a ticket T-shirt at the very least.
Ticket T-shirt. We got to give away wings, right? We got some gift card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys snap a picture, a big head Nick and Austin Norman.
Find him in the Windy City.
Yeah, in the Windy City. Over the next 2 days, we definitely gonna have a gift card for you down here.
I hope we do have some.
We'll have
Find
some.
those guys.
Yeah, do it. You know what? Matter of fact, if you do, right now, I'm saying it right now. 402-464-5685. Any ticket listeners in Chicago now, it's got to be verifiable, not ones that you take off the social media posts or something, one from like Huskers. You snap a picture of Nick Sainert and or Austin in Chicago the next 2 days. I'm gonna give you $50 to the Mercado myself.
Right. I'll give him 10. I'll pick up.
We'll go $60 to the Mercado myself. And you know what? You might even get a little bit of a surprise if it's a side profile of Nick Sainert. How about that, Harrison? That sound good?
Yeah.
That's a good way to start off hump day. Well, anyways, I appreciate Harrison stepping in like he always does. A lot going on. Obviously, we have some audio. I think the players talked today and some position coaches, so we'll get to that here very shortly. We got a special guest, Jason Peter, coming in at 5 o'clock for Old School, 5 to 6 p.m. We're going to start trying to have him on for the rest of the season, bringing in some not only knowledge, but obviously energy. And Jason's always great. He's one of my best friends, so it's always good. Appreciate him, coming down. A lot going on in sports. Obviously, we got baseball knee deep in the playoffs.
Yep, NHL started last night.
NHL started last night, which kind of is like, it's like when the NBA said, all right, that's cool, you started, but we got other things to handle first. But
all right,
the Panthers went back to back. They got the party started. The Yankees were able to hold serve, right?
Mm-hmm.
Toronto let one go. It's going to be when you're facing the big bad empire of the Yankees. Is that the game that you let go to possibly either extends the series that kind of wears you out a little bit, or is it one that you say, okay, we learned from it and we're going to go up 3-1? The interesting part about the Toronto and the Yankee series is that the Toronto essentially had a bye, and then they're already in a bullpen game. That means you don't have no pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
Where the Yankees, that's why last night's game was so crucial. And they had control of it, lost it. Obviously, the Mariners right now are up 1-0 against Detroit, 2-1 in the series. So top of the fourth, and then they got the Milwaukee, Chicago tonight. Again, if any Husker fans or fans of the ticket or fans of Harrison, I guess fans of Jay, fans of DP, anybody at the ticket, if you see Nick Sainert and or Austin, it's $60 to the Mercado.
Yeah.
60. I could do
That's
damn
pretty
it.
easy.
Yeah. You can't miss that bad boy. No, I'm just playing. Then you got Toronto, the Yankees, Knights, and then Philly with the Dodgers. Dodgers are up 2-0, trying to do what they do. Harrison, we got about 18 minutes left, a little bit less than 18 minutes. We'll do a little NFL right now just because.
Oh, real quick, what's the MLB's worst nightmare with this series? Because you
Which
can
one?
run into a Toronto Brewers World Series.
Yeah, that would be the worst.
Was that the worst one on the table?
Yeah. You better get the best umpires, the one that wink, wink, know what they're doing, right? That probably wouldn't be very sellable, but I think playoff baseball is I think everybody loves it.
I think, well, maybe. Well, we'll find out if that's one.
I like playoff. I'll say, I played football. I like baseball. I really like playoff baseball. I like it just because, you got a series, guys are either live up to the hype or not. And these stories like that, even the Mariners, hadn't won in some time, and they've had some legendary players or, come through their organization. Same with the Tigers. They're battling it out. Toronto's kind of been off the map for a little bit. Now here they are. Milwaukee, when they had the little dust up with my man with the PEDs, right where they they were at the apex, hit the PEDs, went down a little bit, and he's still playing. I think there's a lot to watch. And so, of course you have the Dodgers and Philly, and that's just the two big cities. And so that, they probably don't want the Dodgers and Philly. They would have probably liked them to be in other series to be able to right now, but you can't predict that. But, a lot of times in sports right now, professional sports, you cannot predict anything. So, it's just like the NFL. I think the reason why I wanted to jump into the NFL, because I think just because it was Monday Night Football 2 days ago, or not a day and a half ago, I think the NFL is reeling from the Jacksonville Jaguars beating the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs they're not in like red alert full trouble, but that yellow light is starting to turn red.
Well, yeah, the difference between those guys and the Baltimore Ravens is they got their quarterback. I mean, that's the team they're rolling with. And if you're struggling versus the Jags right now, unless you make some moves, I don't know.
But they I think they started to show life. They started to kind of they played decent.
Well, they got Thornton, right? That's his name, wide receiver.
Well, they got a plenty of wide receivers. They got Worthy back and all that, so they started to get an uptick in their production. But then, obviously the 99-yard, interception return, Patrick Mahomes, nobody even talking about that. If that was anybody else, they'd be like, oh, he needs to go to the bench, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think the way they lost, I mean, obviously you're giving up kind of the equivalent of a positive outcome of the butt fumble for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah,
fell down
twice.
Yeah, there you go. Trip 6. It should be double
trip stumble 6.
Yeah. And you had a couple of your star players just watching it, and then you lose on Monday night. I think the NFL is reeling because the news cycle is like not yet done with the Chiefs. Baltimore Ravens are completely done.
Yeah.
But here's what I think that it's really interesting with the NFL is because I always look at when trades happen, right? Baltimore Ravens traded one of their best pass rusher, at least from last year, to the Chargers. Just nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
The Cincinnati Bengals obviously started out really hot. Joe Burrow's out for a season. Browning, who played well, obviously remember he made his mark last year, beating the Vikings. The Vikings, they cut him. He felt like he should have made it. They didn't really give him an excellent interview, so he came back to bite the Vikings in the butt. You think, okay, he can hold the fort down, make a little money too.
Yep.
He ain't look good.
Nope. So they get a new Joe.
So then they go and trade a 5th round pick now for a 38-year-old Joe Flacco. Nothing wrong with it. I'm obviously older than Joe Flacco, but he is fragile.
Behind that offensive line. But they traded a 5th round draft choice. And then they sent a 7th round to another team because it must have been based off a draft pick. Yeah, and now you're hearing the Bengals want to fire Zach Taylor, and it's like, that's not going to fix your problems.
Well, the
team right now is just not good.
But here's the thing. Like, we're making the same point. Okay, you have your franchise quarterback out.
Yep.
So if you should believe in the coach because you guys were, I think, 2-0 with Joe Burrow, and they're in Cincinnati and Joe Burrow notoriously are slow starters, but they're not this year. But he gets hurt, kind of a fluke injury. So normally, okay, we're going to run it back with Zach Taylor, right? We've had success with him. Joe Burrow's his guy, and he's Joe Burrow's guy. You probably think you want to conversate with your franchise quarterback, but it seems like you wanted to fire him before the season. Now, after that happens, which essentially you can't really evaluate him as a coach, now you want to fire him, right? But before we fire you, we want to go get you an aging quarterback. When you could have easily traded for Kirk Cousins, maybe too much money, but Joe Flacco is how much is that? You probably could have traded for Russell Wilson and or Jameis Winston. Nobody's coming there thinking they're going to be there past January, but you decide to go get Joe Flacco from the Cleveland Browns. You've been better off trying to trade a straight up 3rd round pick for Dylan Gabriel to see if he can play in your system. And then that way you have a backup quarterback to your franchise quarterback and trying to steal their starter and so forth.
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing. I didn't realize they gave up a 5th round pick for that.
Yeah. That's
bad.
Back in the day, like when I was getting drafted or when I was coming out, a 5th round pick, it's like, it was nothing. You get a lot of tread out of 5th round picks now.
Yeah.
And they make teams and stuff like that. So
it's always so deep. I mean, it's
many picks as you have, the right thing to do was honestly, if you're one of those garbage teams, is just stock up on picks, like constantly trade down. The reason why nobody does that is the GM. You do that, you're going to get fired quick.
You don't have time anymore.
Exactly.
You could do that back in my day or a little bit after.
But now you get fired.
Now you get fired because
that is the
you
best
essentially
way
get hired
to do it.
to turn it around in a season or a season and a half.
Yeah,
and it's got to be instant. And also, here's also another thing that's funny with the Joe Flacco. You traded him on Monday, right? Because they interviewed Shedeur Sanders. It was on a Monday.
Yep.
They saw him in the facility. He's starting again at the Packers. At the Packers. So when I always tell DP, I was always telling DP, tell Austin, there's only about like 6 to 8 franchises that are actually trying to win.
Yeah.
There's 24 other, give or take, that are just playing dress up. And just out there just playing, PlayStation.
Collecting checks.
Yeah, collecting checks, playing PlayStation, moving the goal line, extending their stay, essentially poison and pilled a bunch of organizations around here and just keep rinse and repeat. Now, who can you blame there? But, I mean, you could say, okay, we're trying to win. We got a veteran quarterback, but then you're going to start a guy that doesn't know your playbook against the Packers?
We got text said, did they get a 6th-round pick back in it? In the trade?
I think so.
Okay, that makes it a little better.
It makes it a little bit better.
Still not my first choice for a quarterback. Getting Flacco.
With all the guys out there.
Exactly.
And nothing against Joe Flacco, because you got to remember, Joe Flacco came off the couch, resurrected his career, and he has a lively arm, and he was a franchise quarterback at one point in time. I'm just thinking, like, okay, you could have got Jameis Winston. You could have took Russell Wilson off their hand. You could have got somebody a little bit more viable. You want to go deep to Jamar Chase. I mean, Joe Flacco throws a good deep ball, but, you could have done that. You could have got, Kirk Cousins. You could have done a lot of – you could have – for that 5th-round pick, you could have got some other guys and gave yourself a realistic chance to win, considering now Baltimore is almost cooked. Cleveland been cooked. So now you're just down to Pittsburgh. Now, I want to ask you this, Harrison, and this is for our texter, Bob. He says, go Steelers, go, and Aaron Davis. Pittsburgh's 4-1. Do you really believe in them?
Yeah, I do. Not like as a Super Bowl winner, but they're going to make the playoffs.
Win the division.
Win the division, yeah. And maybe, 2nd-round playoffs.
Yeah. So they'll win their first game in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, why is that?
Mike Tomlin, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, say what you will about Rodgers, but he's playing good enough, and with that Steelers defense, you don't need to go out there and be an electric quarterback night in, night out. You just can't be a turnover machine, and he's not. He hasn't been on this team.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of right there with you. I mean, obviously, I believe in Mike Tomlin. I like the defense. Aaron Rodgers played well last year. And I think where people need to watch out, I think this offense will continue to get better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not horrible.
No, but I'm just saying the more he gets familiar, the more they kind of get familiar with him, the more he kind of, feels like – and here's where I think that where Aaron Rodgers can be dangerous. When you look at it, they're 4-1. So they're a game and a half ahead. Pretty much 2.
Yeah.
Now he can really wheel and deal because now he can lean on the defense. He lean on the coaching. And also, you know what else you can lean on? Everybody else being garbage.
Yeah.
So you can kind of go, you can go and lose a game and knowing that you didn't lose anything in your standings in your division. That's where I think Pittsburgh really can make some hay. And I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender, but I think they can make a run if they get against the right team. Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs is dangerous.
Yeah. Can the Jets do anything? Fields, they're the opposite story. Justin Fields has actually been pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But they're losing games left and right.
Well, they probably have one of the most talented defenses on paper, and they're playing like hot garbage.
Yeah. But it feels like if they get that tweaked, and it's still,
they're 0-5. Harrison, they're done.
Okay.
Harrison. I don't think I've ever been 0-5, but when you're 1-5,
I thought they were 1-4.
2-7.
I didn't realize it was that bad.
When you're like that, Harrison, you're cooked. You know what you're thinking right now? What would you be thinking? What do you think the players are thinking now in the NFL when you're 0-5?
We might actually have a quarterback. I think if you're the Jets, you're just.
What do you think? If you're a player in the locker, what are you thinking?
I mean, I'm playing for myself at that point, for my paycheck.
Yeah.
That's my mindset. I think if the team's bad, I'm just doing what I can to put my stats on paper.
That's exactly what everybody's at. And
Yeah.
so everybody's out there to make sure that they, it's called CYA.
I thought they had a win. That's pretty rough being 0-5. All right.
0-5. Yeah.
Sorry, Jets. I do like Justin. I will say this, though. It could be the rebirth of Justin Fields in a way. It's tough if you're 0-5, but his stats have been nice. Those last 4 games in particular. But that defense is bad.
And it can't be. So that means somebody's going to get fired. You have a defensive head coach. I know Aaron Glenn. He's one of my former teammates. I'm a little disappointed in that defense, considering that they have Quinnen Williams, his brother, and all those guys. And they look like you got Sauce Gardner, who's, fashioned himself as a lockdown corner. But I can tell you from experience, that's why it's so crucial you can't go 0-2. So when teams get to 0-3 and all that, it's over because it's too hard. Unless you start to really, unless you have a whole bunch of guys that come back off an injury reserve or, you really, make a quarterback change or something like that, you ain't going to no playoffs. You're already going home thinking, all right, how can I get out of my lease? What am I, when is this U-Haul coming? And then you talk to your agent, okay, where it's at, where's your salary cap number, and what numbers do I need to hit to make sure I'm back? All while still being a good teammate. But the thing that is interesting, you said that this is where the NFL is so much different, and this is you're going to essentially start seeing this in college. You're there in the ultimate team sport, but your job is to make sure you play good. Now, how everybody evaluates that is different. You have a lot of guys out there, and you saw it with Trey Hendrickson, where they're like, yeah, you get a lot of sacks, but you're horrible against the run. So you got to weigh it, how much you can think about yourself versus, doing what's right for the team. The one thing I will tell you, when it comes down to it, during the season, say like me and you are linebackers and you're doing a really good job making a lot of plays that don't get highlighted, but doing everything you need to do in the team, right, to help us win, right? And say I'm the benefactor. But you're playing really well at a really good level. They'll pat you on the back. Great job, Harrison. Man, you're playing good. Harrison's playing good. As soon as that season over, they look at your stats. Your stats a little down. Now, Harrison, you got to get the hell up out of here.
And you're getting paid.
But they'll be fine. But then
Jay's getting paid.
I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
And they will look at your stats as a reason to either trade you or whatever. All the while, it was what you're supposed to do. It's always a flip. And that's where some of these guys, especially on the Jets, you're going to start hearing about salary cap number, dead cap money, what happened. Some coaches are going to get fired.
Yep.
Then Aaron Glenn's going to be on the hot seat next year, no matter what unless you end up like 8-9, 9-7, 7-10, or whatever, kind of showing some life. You could be one and done.
Yeah.
That's happened before. NFL is a cold business.
Yeah, and bad organizations just consistently stay bad.
Yeah.
Because it's a revolving door of zero consistency.
And let me ask you this from a fan standpoint, because you're a Chicago Bears fan. We love you.
It's a big weekend. Hey, this is a big weekend for the Bears. Monday Night Football.
Yeah, it's a huge weekend.
Whoever, I don't know how it's 2 years in a row that we're on the road for this one, but whatever.
I mean, you feeling confident?
Yeah.
Are you feeling?
I actually am feeling pretty good.
All right, on a scale
Commanders,
scale of 1 to 7.
6. Or 1 to 7?
Yeah, 7 the highest.
Yeah,
How confident are you in Caleb Williams?
We'll go 5.
Oh, that's good. That's better than last year.
It is better than last.
And he's starting to mature a little bit.
He is.
He's starting to see, he's migrating from middle school to high school.
Yeah, he's still not getting a ton of touchdowns, but he's not throwing picks either.
Yeah.
So,
and he looks a little bit more tightened up too.
Yeah.
Like in the.
Well, I think Ben Johnson's been on him. I think Ben Johnson's. You see him with that reporter?
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah. I think he's getting all those guys pretty accountable.
Yeah.
And I think Caleb Williams, he's talked about at press conferences, like, been pretty hard on him, which is good.
Well,
he's responded the right way to it, at least.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing. The one thing about like organizations like Chicago, even the Jets, can you call them a bad organization when no matter what product they put on the field, there's still butts in the stands? Because that's hard to say, we need you to put a better product on it, but because it's selling.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they had a Super Bowl team, the Bears, say they had a Super Bowl worthy team or a playoff worthy team, and then versus the teams like, of years past or before, the same amount of people are going.
I mean, Chicago would be different.
Why is that?
Same way as Lincoln. We sell out butts, but everyone talks about the 90s, and Lincoln was different. The economy of Lincoln was booming.
And it's not.
But we're still got a sellout streak. But can we say this is the same Lincoln as it was in the 90s when we were winning titles? No. Exactly. Same thing with the Bears.
But we're saying
you don't take advantage of a good location. Chicago is a sports city.
Sports city.
You can be buns and not care and never care, and people are going to show up.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So that's where, as an owner, you sitting in there with the owner, right? Was it McCoskey's or something like that?
Yeah, because rest in peace.
Yeah, and you're trying to say, hey, man, you're not successful. And then he pulls up his spreadsheet right here, and he shows you a lot of green.
Yeah, but if I know I can, give my 10-year-old that title, just like, hey, sit there in the chair and do nothing, and you're going to have the same numbers as this guy who I'm paying millions of dollars to, that's not a win.
Yeah,
that's not. No matter, I know what you're saying. Like
you're talking about the moral obligation to put the best product out there.
But we know that
but that's
moral
not the
obligation
case.
Doesn't always happen.
Hence, why we were just talking about the Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. Now, Chicago, I think, is on the uptick. So, anyways, good first segment, NFL segment. A lot to digest there. We're going to take a quick break, come back, and we'll dive in a little bit of Maryland, talk about some playoff baseball, and then we'll keep moving on. Jay Foreman, Harrison, we'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Salt Mine City is your go-to brewery in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their big fatty 7-ounce hamburger or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, Visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Drink locally and support local business during Lincoln's Craft Beer Week, October 11th through the 18th. Great beer, cider, distillates, and more are made right here in Lincoln. For more info, visit lincoln.org/beer-week. Brought to you by Visit Lincoln. Remember to enjoy responsibly.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches, too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinnie Krekak of State Farm Insurance.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Jay Foreman, my man Harrison on the 1s and 2s. We got to give him some love. He's a Chicago Bears fan. Also, it's still out there, $60.
Go find Nick Sainer.
Find Nick Sainer.
Austin Orman.
Listen, he's in Wrigleyville. Is it Wrigleyville?
Wrigleyville?
Is it?
Yeah, Wrigley Field.
Wrigley Field.
He's going to the game, right? Or no?
He's in Chicago area.
Is it in Chicago tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
You ever had a Chicago dog? You ever been to Chicago?
I've been into the outskirts, been around it. Never had a Chicago dog. I had a New York dog. Trash. Yeah. I thought that was like a staple in New York. You go get a hot dog on the corner.
Oh, no. That's like rat meat.
Garbage.
It's rat
I
meat.
think it was.
Yeah.
There was some rats in the alley. It would have been a quick turnaround for his inventory.
Yeah, that's why it's so big in there. Boy. Hey, the rats be eating good, boy. It's not Ratatouille or whatever it is, that show, but Chicago dogs. I saw Tracy Morgan in Schaumburg. Funny as heck.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a suburb of Chicago. I've been to Chicago. I go about twice a year. Got a doctor I see up there. Had a Chicago dog. Oh, got an unknown unmasked texter.
Yeah.
He says,
it's
oh, man, I ain't saying that. I was hyped. Unmasked texter.
pretty
Do
funny,
better.
though. Made me laugh. I'll give him that.
We need to save that for Nick and send it to him. My man Ben says the Bears are building a dome the Bears building a dome is absolute cheeks. What am I going to give Minnesota fans a hard time about now?
The dome thing, listen, I get it, but people just don't want to sit in freezing weather. I mean, if
Green Bay fans will.
Green Bay fans will. Bills fans will. Maybe Chicago fans will.
Listen, I'm going to say this.
But that wind?
I'm going to say this. The Vikings built the Metrodome so they no longer were an outdoor team. So their next step was that, right? Chicago Bears should always be an outdoor team. Green Bay Packers should always be an outdoor team. Buffalo Bills as well. But Buffalo, I think, is getting a retractable stadium, right?
I should know this.
I'm
but-
not sure if they are. I didn't hear anything about that. I'm always a romantic when it comes to it. Like, I like the idea of always having the outdoor stadiums, but the business part of me, like, there's a realistic part where good luck trying to convince the adult to put a open roof stadium, because they're going to be thinking concerts, they're going to be thinking other events. Just so tough to sell those things anymore. And you're seeing that with Denver too. You know,
Yeah.
They're,
And I get it.
And that's
I
a
mean,
private group. So
yeah.
on the bright side, those guys do whatever the hell you want. You're not making the people of the city pay for it.
Right.
So,
yeah.
you know, that's
the
what
Walmart
that's all
family.
Yeah, the Walmart family.
Yeah.
Walmart Arena,
Yeah.
probably, or Walmart Stadium. I wouldn't be surprised if it's named that. But yeah, so it's a tough sell. I like it as a romantic when it comes to that stuff, but good luck trying to sell people on that, because they want it for concerts and everything else.
Old school listeners, text in 402-464-5685. Now, it's never happening, or I don't know anything, but just, spark my brain, the little I have left. Would you guys be okay if Nebraska had a retractable roof?
I wouldn't like it, but I'd go to the games if they did it.
I think outdoor. I think I'll just say if or when, or just say when Nebraska gets into the college football playoffs, no matter what the number is, 12, 16, 24. I'm assuming they'll max it out at 24. I think Nebraska playing outdoors with the elements when those games would play would definitely sway Nebraska's way, or be in Nebraska's advantage.
Yeah, I mean, it is an advantage when you are
And I think the people of the great state of Nebraska and surrounding areas wouldn't mind. I think the more snow, the merrier. And you know what I mean? What they would have to do to adjust for it, Harrison, is you have alcohol sales now, right?
Yeah.
So you would have to have Fireball on tap. And doesn't that warm you up?
Yeah, I mean, liquor. I mean, if you drink, just if you drink enough of anything, you'll
beer
warm.
probably cools you off, or it makes you colder.
Depends how fast you drink it.
I don't know that.
There's going to be, there's going to be a lot more Fireball sales.
Fireball and stuff that warms you up inside. So that's, I think Nebraska fans would still be.
They'd go. I mean, we're not the elements would not scare Nebraska fans.
Here we go. We got here. He's like Blake, my man, texter says he's in for it.
All right.
Let me see. Old Dad 34. Keep the stadium the same. I like it. Playoff advantage. Ben says he went to the Bears versus Vikings back in 2010 after the Metrodome collapsed. It was 12 degrees with 3 foot of snow on the ground. Had absolute time of my life.
Okay.
Yeah. Unknown texter 1508. He says, heck yes, if USC is a cold and windy game, sways Nebraska way. So we might be able to see that here in a few weeks.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. UCLA didn't really give a damn about the cold. Actually, I don't think it was too cold when UCLA was down here. I think they actually got
it was decently cold. Okay. And here's what happens when you play warm weather teams like that. They had never been been to cold anywhere, so they just embraced it. They feel like, all right, it's only 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
So that's when you see these, running out there with no shirt
on
on
and all that business.
And then they play well. Then you're like, dang, that's our advantage. But most of the time, the California teams, they'll wilter in the wind.
A cold or windy day is the key.
What we need that wind is a mist, with wind, and then the temperature gradually drops.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because then it just sits on you and it's just
sits on you,
cold.
And then that clock is slower, and then you can hopefully, ideally, start leaning on him or on USC, and then they start to tap out. Freaking Lincoln says, I think being out in the elements, no matter the weather, is the best atmosphere to watch. I totally agree. But I'm going to tell you this: we'll get into it, and we'll continue. We'll obviously stay on track. We'll start the conversation here. Then we'll go a little nugget to end it, and then we're going to start at the beginning of the 4:00 hour, and continue along of the news cycle day of college football. There's a ton of stuff going on, but now we're talking about stadiums and potentially retractable roofs and all that. And I don't think it really will happen. On college campuses, it'd be very, very hard.
Yeah, college is going to be a different beast. I don't think that's
now. Only way is if you're like the Miami Hurricanes, which they don't need it because they're sharing with the Dolphins. They got good weather, so it generally won't happen. So we can kind of move that, but we'll move along to this since we only have 7-8 minutes. I think with the expansion of college football playoffs. We have a big, I wouldn't say announcement, big thing to talk about 4 o'clock hour that kind of goes along with this. But with the players now getting paid so much money, and it's actually probably more profitable to play in college football as long as you can versus shooting your shot in the NFL, because generally the guys that are getting paid aren't really that good. They're just getting overpaid in any level. So you're going to have to get money from outside sources. So one thing that we might not get retractable roofs or roof on a stadium or anything like that, or new stadiums like that. What you will get potentially or eventually is stadiums or universities, and this is all of, and every, it could be the baseball stadium and all that, selling the naming rights or field rights. I think Penn State did it this year. Correct me if I'm wrong. Text line 402-464-5685. I think Penn State did it this year for the field. But I think when you have, say, like a Michigan, if they need because they're in a little bit of financial trouble, even though they just, the math ain't mathing for it. But so if you need an influx of money, don't be surprised that you see said company on their stadium or somewhere lock and step with big universities now. One, it pays the players.
Yep.
One, it keeps them whole. 3, if you want to still, and say you're a school that's really good at a lot of sports, and we'll talk about this, and I'll just even say this right now. This is why I think it's going to happen, is Stanford, right? Whose football program is 50 and below, ranked? You think?
Yeah, probably
50 to 75 if we're being nice. A former football player donated $50 million. There. Former football player. And that's, obviously, so that's a lot of money, right? So, generally, if you get $100 million, Bradford Freeman, who graduated from the school in 1964, you know what that means? Time is ticking. He said, I got to do something, right? So, he's got to go somewhere. If I'm the kid, if I'm one of his kids, Pops, yo, I know you love your school, but don't you love me?
Yeah, that's pretty tough if you're the kid at the unless he's got maybe.
What if he say, all right, I got you season tickets? Hey, Harrison.
I know you're upset, but I did get you season tickets for the rest of your life.
And a parking pass. They've been 3-9 the last 4 seasons. They're 2-3 right now. But what I'm saying is, with this comes naming rights. His name will be all over in Stanford. Obviously, Stanford is very wealthy university, private money, and all that stuff. But all these other schools, like when we heard the story about Iowa State, right, where I think the athletic director was talking about if something isn't done, they will have to cut sports, and they might not be able to hang with the big boys. Yeah. So if you get a company that's willing to come in and have the naming rights to, say, like their basketball arena, football stadium, and whatever, and you get $100 million, well, at least from the revenue sharing, you're good for 5 years.
Yeah.
Right. So, this is coming down the pipe.
Well, not everybody has the David Booth or whatever that Stanford player's name was, 50, or $300 million there.
T-Bone Pickens and all that stuff from Oklahoma.
This is a race of how deep are your pockets and how shameless are you willing to get the more money. That's what kind of scares me about college football. I'm not saying everyone's getting money the wrong ways, but how much are we willing to sell? And that's
we're going to talk about.
And
that.
I know
we're going to talk about that because it's a lot going on. A lot is going on, but little's being said.
And then there's the challenge of, like, if you're, say, Nebraska, volleyball's good. You want to make sure you keep pumping money into that. Well, now the wrestling program's taken off. So maybe we got to up the money into that. It's year to year where you got to keep recalculating the amount of money. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of these accountants are, getting the work done. And then, the money's flying out the door quicker than it's supposed to. And then they're like, hey, we're short millions of dollars for what we want to do next year. We've already just burned through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if we rename the field? What if we rename this? What if
everything
we make a deal?
Up, listen.
Exactly.
You know what? Everything's up for sale, Harrison. And guess what else? Guess what? Including you.
I know.
Everything's up for sale. They're in there. You be in the big meeting. I feel like these, athletic directors and presidents get in there and they got that, they have the long table, big boardroom. And he's in there and he's putting up the big screen with numbers. And he says at the end of it, everything's for sale. Doesn't matter. Seats, seats on the field, all this boxes, everything for sale. Then he looks at his assistant, even you. We got it right here. Unknown texter 2312. He says, I bet. He's like, I'll bet he saved some cash for his kids. I bet he didn't. I'm willing to bet some of the kids. Now, I mean, I'm imagining some of these kids work in his company, so they're probably
set up.
They're probably set up pretty good
already,
but they still giving them the stank eye. You know the family text message behind Dad's back is spicy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you see what Dad did? Did you advise him to do it? No. Who did it, Mom? No. Everybody's upset about that, but yeah, I'm proud we did though.
Season tickets though.
Old Dad 34, before we go to break, he says, we need the Colorado game from 94 weather for USC game. I 100% agree. We need the Colorado game from 96. We need the Colorado game from, I think, when John Perella just broke somebody off. I think that was 92 or 93.
Sometimes it's a game changer.
Sometimes.
I'll never forget. My freshman year, I didn't play in the game, but I was on varsity because everyone's on varsity. We're playing, I'm blank, Aquinas.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on their field. It was a rainy game. It was, no one could really do anything. The final score 7-0. We win. We meet them in the state championship. Dry field, 49-7.
They beat you?
Ran the ball down our throat. Then once they got the traction, then they were able to put their foot in the ground.
Yeah, it happens, man. I mean,
we weren't there.
Look, in 97, me and Mike Rucker, we were on the road. We were, we was roommates or whatever. So we were always, and he's from Missouri, so he was hype. We're watching the news, trying to see, feel the vibe of the hype or whatever. And they're doing like a spot there at the stadium. They show them putting sand down on the field. Sand.
Yeah, that's what Aquinas did. They practice in sand.
And then watering it, trying to slow down our speed. It worked for a little while, and we made Corby Jones a legend.
Oh, they actually put sand on the field?
Oh, yeah, we were watching it. And I was like, Ruck, you see this? And then and he's like, that ain't going to do it. Listen, legs was heavy. legs was heavy for a little while. Then we had to turn it up a little bit. I will tell you this real quick before we go to break. When I played for Buffalo, and we always looked at the schedule, or Wade Phillips has always looked at the schedule. Now it is give or take. Now, like, we come out of training camp, a day like today would be a hot day, so we had to do a lot of conditioning, but you're not used to the humidity. Sometimes we play down in Miami early in the season. The heat jumps on us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we'd always be okay with that because we felt like we could get our second wind, and we knew how to, kind of work around. I mean, we had Hall of Famers. But we get Miami up in Buffalo in December, guaranteed win. When I tell you some of the best players that you could think of that I played against were in the middle of the second quarter, I'm like, dog, it's cold up here. How do you do it? Talking in between plays. They're like, yeah, we got him. We got him. I'm straight up.
Yeah, it's a real factor.
It's real. It's real. Well, you know what else is real? We're up against the break. Jay Foreman, Harrison, Old School. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds. High around 67. Tonight, clear skies and light and variable winds, low around 45. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with a light breeze, matching high near 69. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
and electrical.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Are you ready to transform your body and your life in just 10 weeks? At Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, our kickboxing challenge combines heart-pumping cardio, strength training, and proven nutrition coaching to deliver real results. Lose fat, gain strength, and feel more confident than ever. Spots are limited. Don't wait. Join the next Farrell's 10-week challenge starting October 11th and take the first swing towards a healthier, stronger you. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, results, not excuses. Join today, fxblincoln.com. That's fxblincoln.com.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agriculture storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post-frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
This fall, Baumgars has everything you need to get your farm ready for the season. Don't miss Fall Discount Day this Saturday, October 11th, for one day only. Get 17% off regular priced items. That's right, 17% off. From the barn to the backyard, Baumgars has you covered for all your field, farm, and fall fix-ups. Some exclusions apply. See a store associate for details. Baumgars, what you need, when you need it.
Hi, Sean Callahan here, and I've got some great news for you. Koppel Chevrolet GMC is proud to be the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln metros. Koppel is also celebrating its 50th anniversary. We want to say thank you to all of our customers that have helped us reach these milestones. So come see why so many customers, including myself, are choosing Koppel Chevrolet GMC for their automotive needs. Please check us out at koppelcars.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, And we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Hump Day? Jay Foreman, Harrison. Into hour one real quick. We'll get to the top of the 4 o'clock hour, talking some politics in the not politics, but
yeah, you scared people there.
Yeah,
You almost just turned it off.
I don't do politics. I do politics in the realm of NCAA football.
Yeah,
a lot's changed.
I used to want to be a politician growing up. And then
Really?
And then I was like, oh, this is some not fun
Yeah, you
people.
can make some money. Yeah, man, you
know?
can break bread to be a politician, man.
Yeah, you could sell your soul too if you want. You can really make a lot of bread if you.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Harrison, let me ask you this about naming rights. In your opinion, what sport do you think is going to be the first to kind of go all in on it?
Football. Yeah, I was the one that's always looking for more money.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe basketball, but they're and I was more or less thinking when I was thinking basketball, I was thinking March Madness, but I think that's the last thing that NCAA would truly let go, because that's
well, they're trying to bump it to 78, so
yeah, and so that's why I think they'll keep on it. I was thinking more like football was like the known, but then I was like, okay, what else could be the next? I would say
basketball would be easier to pull off.
You'd be
getting the names on the court and all that.
Yeah,
And you already see the patches
jerseys.
on the jersey. Yep.
You'd be like one of those European teams over there where you got all patches on there.
We just can't get to that point.
Oh, we're getting there.
It's
in your lifetime. It's definitely. It's not even in your lifetime. In the next 5 years.
Awful.
2030. You have patches on there.
Well, it's just I hope there's a line drawn at some point that says like, hey, maybe the millions of dollars that we just keep upping up the ceiling year in, year out, like get to a certain point. How much nicer facilities can you have? Like there's got to be a point where people just kind of like dry out.
I mean, it could be donor fatigue, but that's why you go. That's why you go to businesses and
businesses don't have fatigue, unfortunately.
Yeah,
because they're always
I mean, what's more marketable now? I mean, I think you got to think how much marketing has changed. And obviously, you got another minute or two. I remember for me when I got to NFL, and you could do like an autograph signing for like $500. You thought you really was making some money. You get a car deal, you really making some money because you're saving money. You're not getting paid the thing. And now the only people that got marketing deals when I was coming into pros were primarily quarterbacks, running backs, and maybe some receivers. Obviously, Jerry Rice is obviously very marketable. But besides that, nobody's getting. Now they can make money through social media, or companies can make money off of them in other ways. So I can definitely, and then plus, you got a lot. You got how many students are at Nebraska? How many people go to the games? I mean, if you want to support a player, you could support the brand, so forth and so on. So it's never going to stop, unfortunately, for you, Harrison.
Yep.
Hopefully, it still let you sleep good at night. So, anyways, we still have not found a picture of Nick Sainer. $60. Listen,
he's out there at Wrigley.
Yeah, he's at Wrigley. I know there's some Husker fans listening with their radio or on their app with their AirPods in. We need a picture of Nick Sainer and Austin Orman. $60 to the Mercado. Or in Chicago walking around within the next 2 days. That could even be at the airport. You will get a bonus if you get a side profile of Nick Sainer.
Why is the side profile important?
You know why. Harrison.
I'm asking the hard-hitting questions, Jay.
You know why.
I know why, but the people maybe need to know.
I'm going to tell you, no comment, but we're going to take a quick break, come back. There's some breaking news on about 50 different levels in the NCAA in football. Jay Foreman, Harrison, Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This just in. Hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has expanded strength equipment. We're raising the bar with these benches, and our hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all the best-in-class equipment we've always had. There's no better time to get stronger. Join the club today for $1 down, $15 a month, now through October 10th. Planet Fitness is proud to partner with Boys and Girls Clubs of America to create stronger, kinder communities. See Home Club for details.
The temperature and leaves are falling daily, so that means it's time for a new pair of shoes for the fall season from Brown's Shoe Fit. Now through October 31st, take $15 off any regularly priced fall shoes and boots. Brands like Keen, Oboz, Echo, Taos, and Atrex all $15 off. Some exclusions may apply. See store for details. This is the sale you've all been waiting for, so get down to Brown's Shoe Fit on 66th and Q.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agriculture storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post-frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Schwizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schwizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schwizo.com. That's schwisow.com. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Hey guys, it's Nick. Join me and Jay Foreman this Friday night as we bring you Bellevue West versus Lincoln Southwest, live from Seacrest Field with kickoff scheduled for 7 p.m. Lincoln Southwest has won 2 games in a row thanks to a convincing 35-13 win versus Lincoln Northeast last week, and they now get ready to face off against the Thunderbirds. Pre-game is slated for 6:45 p.m. with kickoff expected at 7 p.m., and you can hear all the action between Bellevue West and Lincoln Southwest unfold right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Once again, happy hump day, Jay Foreman, my man Harrison on the ones and twos. We got the original OG, Old School. DP is to my left. Once you get the up on the stream, we are brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Greens and Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th Yankee Hill, 85th and Andermatt / Old Cheney, 168th and Maple, up there in the O. Be on the lookout for their specials starting tomorrow and Friday for the lunch specials, that is. We'll make sure that we get them on social media. But with a lot going on in an odd way in college football, I always like to bring in people that have, unique perspectives. Obviously, it's something that me and DP actually had talked about, I think, like 2 years ago, because we talked about it when the NFL did a bout face. Remember when Aaron Rodgers couldn't go to Vegas for fantasy football because it was associated with, was it DraftKings? Mm-hmm. We were in here together, original Old School, me, you, and Austin. When the Alabama baseball coach essentially snitched on everybody in every sport, wrestling and football included.
Everything.
We've obviously talked off air about different, professional athletes, in particular basketball, obviously, Porter up there in Toronto and betting on games. But it just came out today. If you haven't heard, there's 2 stories, but the one I think is the most interesting, says the NCAA, of all people, is closer to letting athletes bet on pro sports. Okay? So I always say when these articles come out, they just want to see the reaction. So, DP, what's your reaction?
So I preface all this by saying I'm not a bettor. I'm not a bettor at all. But I also don't slight people who bet. I think you're interesting humans, but
no, people that casually bet or that are degenerates. Because if somebody's like, all right, man, I'll bet you $5 on the.
No, that's you.
Normal. We're talking about.
I'm talking about people that in full accounts, there is a process. There's a process to their betting, and you get too fully formed in it and too connected to it. You become invested in it.
Literally.
Emotionally, physically, financially, you become invested in the betting. And the problem with that becomes lack of control. You lose control because it's set up for you that once you're invested, it's like the drug dealer.
Yeah.
If I give you a free one and I give you another free one, just a small bit, I get you closer and I lure you in.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, that little bit ain't enough. And then that freebie ain't enough. And now you're willing to go. And now you need it rather than want it. And it now has control. And that's the thing. But that, for me, I know my personality type.
Yeah.
So for me, it was always in the DC days, Carolina days, when you're around the athletes and coaches that much, you see how they live and what's going on. So you know things.
Right.
And you're watching people bet and you're going, why are you bro, why are you betting on this dude? Do you know this dude?
You need to have a DP hotline.
Right. Did you know this dude? Right.
Yeah.
Like I saw this dude at the club at 3 a.m. the night before a playoff game.
Guaranteed to drop.
Right. Like we knew what it was. So in that, do your thing. What you do, you. And if your vice, I'm not downing your vice. Your vice is your vice. But when you start doing business, when you start doing the business of betting, then you get into control, adjusting numbers, manipulating players, and then manipulating coaches. And that's the part you also miss, is they think, well, it's players. Like, you're going to allow college players to bet. Well, if you allow college players to bet on pros, you're allowing college coaches to bet on the pros too. And then there's some competition, right? Then you're getting into egos. Then you're getting into financial management, right? Because now you've got people grown-ups who will hustle and be the person in place. Hey, man, if you're going to bet, come through to me. I'm the pro. Man, you ain't a pro.
Yeah.
You ain't a pro, right? Then it becomes, well, wait a minute, you winning and I'm losing. Wait a minute, if a player's winning in betting and the coach is losing and they talk about it, what do you think happens? The power balance is thrown way out the building. And then you get into the business that universities are getting closer to becoming addicted to this thing called betting and the money that's attached to it. And once you let them in the door, as your grandmother would say, my grandmother would say, devil can't come in unless you invite him. The devil can't come in by itself. You have to let it in. You have to literally say, come on in. This, in my mind, feels like that.
Right.
It feels like if you're going to allow them to bet on college, then you're going to get them in the system of betting and the investment of betting.
Now you're in the long term.
The highs and lows of betting, and then it's your boy, right? Because I don't know, the guy that was its team captain when you were senior, you're still talking to. He's in the league.
Yeah.
He know things. Yeah. And then you know things about him because it's, oh man, I know what that dude doing on Friday.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just, to me, I don't know why it's necessary. If it just becomes about money, then all bets are off. Because then, hey man, there's all sorts of businesses that want to, legitimate and otherwise.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was my question I wanted to ask you, is because do you think it's because of overall all the teams? Obviously, Nebraska's obviously pretty good financially, so all the way down to the teams that are literally struggling. I'm gonna ask you twofold. Do you think it's more for the betterment of everybody? You know, when they're starting to bring in some private equity money, allowing kids to bet, I'm sure there's some kickbacks coming back, right?
That's first. They kicking first.
Right.
They ain't kicking back. They kicking first.
Do you think that's to cover everybody, or is it because they know a lot of it's already going on and you've had numerous violations over the last, 18 months?
And those are just the things you know about.
Right. So is it like, okay, they're doing it anyways? It's kind of like what NIL. They're paying them. Now it's out of control. Let's just try to, dice it up a little bit before the bottom falls out.
The answer to both is yes. The answer to both is yes.
Yeah.
That it is why it is. I think they're surprised at how widespread it is. Social media has certainly engaged it because you got these content creators who do the betting pools, right? And then you see your star player on their feed.
Yeah. Oh, then you just
and you go, wait a minute. Well, why is he following the betting dude?
Yeah.
It always existed. It was the CD Jimmy the Greek follower, who was doing it out of a house in Henderson, Nevada, rather than doing it digitally on an app that you can track. And remembering that most college students and most high school students do not understand. They think that they're anonymous digitally. No, you're literally you're planting seeds for them to track who's betting, how much money. You cannot do a wire transfer digitally and not have it resonate on the stream. It shows up.
Yeah.
So that now they know. They get a report. The deal with FanDuel is, I guarantee you, a part of it is to get the digital imprint of who's betting, from where, and about what.
Yeah.
You don't get. I'm not getting in bed with you without money, without knowing who are you doing business with, right? Yeah. And FanDuel wants to know how many Huskers are doing business. They need to know, right? Because it'll tell them how much money to put into the market, right? Oh, wait a minute. Nebraska betting on volleyball. let's put some money behind that. And then next thing you know, the next star player is a FanDuel athlete. And then it's draft. Well, they're going to battle with that. Now DraftKings needs to get in the pool. With FanDuel making money in Lincoln and Omaha, we sure want to get in. Think of how hard it was to get alcohol, to get beer in the stadium.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get in place with the thing that has more dire effect, more negative result than betting.
On the game, too.
On the game.
On the outcome. Or potentially on the outcome.
And on the people.
Yeah, and it's not, and I think, that's a great point. I don't think it's like direct, technically not direct, because you're betting on, pro sports.
With your nice amount of NIL money that you just ran into. You got
Just
more money than you know what to do
You
with.
just go from a high school graduation in June or July, you got to.
They're betting in high school. Can I say that? Can I?
You can.
Okay.
No,
let me punch a few ghosts while I'm at it.
Listen, I'm not naming names.
Right.
All right. I'm not naming anybody's names that are here in Lee. I was down in Dallas, Texas, driving, I think, 10 basketball players. And I was astonished. And it was during the Masters. And they must have, I literally had no idea. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm betting someone it was only $5, but it was like, I'm betting $5 so-and-so going to make the cut. I said, bro, you don't know nothing about golf. I'm thinking the same thing. Whoever you're betting, he ain't got a chance to make it, but it's rampant. It's rampant, man.
So I was speaking at a local school, and I'm there in the space just waiting to speak. And there's two different groups of young men, and they're talking betting. I am mortified. I'm mortified. So let me say this as nicely and as directly as I can say this to the parents of high school students out there, high school and middle school students. Because if your high school son is the big brother to a middle school son, your middle school son is betting.
About to.
And let me say this to you. If you do not have control of the digital aspect and the emotional aspect and the integral, that whole thing with integrity within family, if you don't have that under control, get your kids because they betting, and it's not good. It's not good to have. Jay, you know what happened there's a group of 8 and a group of 6. You know what happened to both those groups? A dude walked up. The better dude.
You gotta get his money.
Hey man, it looked like cockroaches on a bad Friday. They scattered, bro. They was trying to get away from dude. And dude was like, no, that's okay. I know where you're gonna be. Do not allow your kids to participate in this thing.
Yeah.
Again, if you're a betting house, cool, do your thing. I'm not trying to control what you do in your house. But I'm telling you, when it gets to middle school and high schools, and if your sons are doing it, your daughters are doing it too. And so you just need to, when you let this into the space in full, remember look, I'm old enough to remember Jimmy. There was one betting guy. It was Jimmy the Greek.
Yeah.
That's it. And he'd sit Sunday and he would tell you, he'd tell you who he thought was betting, and your dad would write it down on pencil, right? In the old neighborhood.
Be at the barbershop.
Dude, taking numbers.
Taking numbers.
Numbers, right? And it never ended well. Harrison, it never ends well. You don't know anybody who got rich off betting. You don't know anybody. Most people listening, you may know a unicorn who hit it once big, but you don't know anybody who bets professionally who got rich off of it.
Well, FanDuel will shut your account down. They have the right. If you start winning too much, they'll just shut it down. So you can't win.
Again, you don't know nobody.
Oh, really?
You don't know nobody. You don't know nobody who got their account shut down because they was winning too much.
Yeah, I don't know a single person. There's like one guy.
Yeah, it's a unicorn. It was the one dude, Jay. It was the one dude had a weekend.
Yeah.
You know, the dude, we know a dude when we was in Vegas. And you have the vision.
Yeah. Well, these kids are getting fed the vision.
You
They
have
go
the
listen to the
vision,
podcast,
and you
sponsored
just
by
go,
FanDuel.
man, this is perfect.
It does sound good when they tell it to you.
Well, you listen to the podcast sponsored by FanDuel. They watch the football game. This game's sponsored by DraftKings. They go listen to the Joe Clapp post-game show. This is sponsored by FanDuel again. Everything's sponsored by sports gambling now. So the kids are hearing it nonstop about all these, stars in the media talking about these are my picks for the weekend. They're getting fed all the time that this is a dream.
I'm going to give you $500 free money just to get you to link up an account.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to win some small amount, and then they got you. Hook, line, and sinker. Now
well, they're giving you 500 on the spot.
Yeah, but you're
going
to lose the 500.
Oh, 100%.
You're going to lose the 500 and then another 500. So they just lured you in.
And you can't withdraw that 500.
Nope.
It's just 500 to bet, right?
Yeah. But only 500 of that you can only bet. And again, if they're
Bitcoin.
Giving you 500 on the spot, what does that tell
Bitcoin
you?
account.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, it's here to stay. I mean, I was talking about. I mean, I don't know what year that was. Aaron Rodgers was going to do like an appearance for a fantasy football. Must have been a big league down in Las Vegas, and the NFL said no. Next thing you know, you could bet in NFL stadiums as long as you're in like this office.
The sports book. Yeah, they have a sports book
in the facility.
In the facility now.
It would have never been a thought. I would have never thought it would came this far.
But here's some of what happens though, Harrison. This is where I see it. So let's say it's Meatball State University, right? We're gonna make up one, and the star quarterback gets sponsored by FanDuel. X number of dollars, and hey, we'll pay you more if you actually do picks that week. Right? Because more money. Once you tell me that there is a number for you, then I can get you for more numbers. But what if the middle linebacker is devout, religious, and doesn't want to be around betting in the locker room by teammates? What happens?
He got to go somewhere else. Not me, but he got to go somewhere else.
Right? Like, so then if you're the coach, what do you do?
That's part of the background. I don't know, man. I mean, I think it's crazy.
If you're the coach and your your players are betting. And
you got to get that under control. You got to get it under control, or at least get well. Number one, you're never probably going to get it under control because they're after 18, they're technically adults. But I think you need to have a pulse on it.
A betting coordinator.
A pulse on it.
A betting coordinator on staff.
So you know,
is that what?
Just need to stop promoting it. I mean, seriously, that's where I lie.
That ain't gonna stop it. But I'm saying this: you have to have a good idea on how much is going on in your team. That's period. It's no different than for an NFL team. Guys, or NBA, guys, smoke a little weed, right? You got to know how much they're doing, when they're doing it. You got to have a pulse on your team because you're not going to stop it. So you might as well get that out of your brain. All right. Because if they're betting in middle school and high school, by the time they get to college, if they're doing it, or if they know about it, and then now they can, even if they can bet up to the pros, you're not going to stop it because their main reply is going to be, well, I'm not betting on these games. They don't understand the psychology of it. But you have to have a good snapshot of it. And then obviously you're going to have to spend money in education.
Let me propose this, that a quarterback from Texas, high school quarterback from Texas, picks his college based on the NIL deal, gets a portion of the money. He's got a betting situation, right? He's got a betting situation. He then loses the majority of that money. And then he starts losing some more money. What happens to the bettor? To the bettee, to the real dude? You know what? I'm going to lock you in. But here's the thing: you need to get some more money, bro. I need my money, or you gotta pay.
Throw a game.
You got to throw a game for me. Now, if you don't want to throw a game, you've got to transfer. You got to get out of there and go find another pocket of cash to do this.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand this stuff is going on, it's been going. As Jay said, it's been going on.
Yeah.
It is now a thing where they now have to consider, let's have some conversations about what this really means. It's never the first thing that burns the bridge. It's the things that you don't think about. The first thing, if you're just doing business, that's one thing.
Yeah.
You're doing better business. And you're doing Vegas business, which is family business.
Yeah, and they've been doing it way longer than these kids. And I mean, I just think that it's hard. I think the best thing that you can do, or one of the best selling points, me and Harrison were just talking about naming rights eventually for stadiums, so everybody can try to stay whole in this whole, pay for play type of thing. Whether you want to call it or not, you're paying the players. Is that what I know for a fact? Not enough universities are spending resources, aka money, to educate the players on everything that comes with the money that they are receiving. They might take, you might send it in, they'll take your taxes out. That ain't good enough. And this is nothing against like Merle Lynch or anything. You can have those guys that came in and they can put on a computer and send you a financial plan. That's good, but that's not good enough. If you don't have people that know the language, I always say athletes are like wolves. They know the sense. If you don't have anybody talk to these guys or on staff that can help these guys work through it, that's been there and done it, and kind of steer them in the right way or get them out of the wrong way or get them out of a jam, you are not doing what all you can do, quote unquote, for your student athletes or your athletes or whatever you want to name them now.
So we pitched this idea back in D.C., Georgetown, that in order for NIL's deals to be done for any athlete or any business, that the businesses have to go through a course, and the students, before you accept an NIL deal, you have to go through compliance, which tells you, listen, these are the right deals, things to look for, what percentage goes to taxes. So if you're gonna do this, if you're gonna get $10,000, what percentage of it is going to go to taxes? Maybe add it on to the top end of it rather than the bottom end, right? Go through it. Yeah. The businesses, that if we're going to do these deals, then the tax portion of it needs to be, you need to take care of the young person. You're the business person. You need to take care of it. And then parents have to come in and have to be a part of it. Parents tell you, you know what, I got a job. I can't get off work. Well, we do it on Zoom. We all go through and we consume it. If you tell me that you do not have the time, which is going to be excuse number one for programs. I don't have time. We don't have time. We barely have enough time to beat Northwestern. We do not have enough time to put teaching everybody, every player, some 565 athletes and their parents and all the 500 businesses that want to do business with them, how this should be done. But if you're not doing all that, you're asking for trouble.
You're asking for trouble, in the short and long term, but then also you're not selling. That's got to be that you're not selling your program 100%.
And it would be a wonderful added value if you had it in place.
It wouldn't even be that'd be actually somewhere you could really sway some guys and sway some parents, especially now with athletes being more savvy. As much as we talked about them being able to bet, they're more savvy business wise now coming in as well because of social media. But if you can do that and do it though, not just do it to say you did it, but do it the real way. You can pull a lot of recruits and you can actually build a legacy of being a different type of program, because that's how you're going to set yourself apart. Sure, you can, get in, I guess a new state, or you could do all the things that whatever, but to separate yourself in this NIL part right now, you better have some real people around these kids.
They don't want real people around the kids.
Well,
we know that.
I'm just telling you what you need. You need to have real kids around, real people around them, because
Harrison, you see the look on Jay's face just now?
I'm just telling you because
am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Okay.
All I'm saying is this: because as much it would benefit, I guess, whatever like mentors would mentor the players to the mentees. In my opinion, it would benefit the football team twofold. Why? Here's why. I always say, if you want to make a splash in NIL, you better stop. You better, not only can you offer money, you need to offer things. The things is what keep you set. Harrison's the coach, Jay Foreman's the player, DP's the mentor, and I'm the mentee. Okay, I'm thinking about transferring. I'm not just leaving Harrison, because that's kind of easy, right? Because Harrison can get a job, he can leave. I can't leave my mentor because my mentor is going to look out for me. It helps you with roster retention. How do you become constantly competitive, constantly in the mix? It's roster retention. You've seen it with Ohio State. You've seen other teams that do it, and that's why they're able to constantly be in the mix.
People over money. Yeah. People over money. I just look. If you put money first over people, it's not going to work. If you put people over money, you got a shot.
Yeah. Anyways, good segment. We're going to take a quick break. Come back. Jay Foreman, Harrison, DP. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Get in and win with Limitless Male Medical, the men's health experts. We are the proven leaders in testosterone and peptide therapy. Don't play around with a sub-shop franchise that just popped up. At Limitless Male, this is serious medicine. Full lab panels, real providers, years of experience focused only on men's health. Don't be fooled by crash course owners. Trust the team that knows hormones inside and out. Limitless Male Medical. Your health is not a game.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds. From high around 67. Tonight, clear skies and light and variable winds. The low around 45. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with a light breeze. Afternoon high near 69. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more. Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has expanded strength equipment. We're raising the bar with these benches, and our hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all the best-in-class equipment we've always had. There's no better time to get stronger. Join the club today for $1 down, $15 a month, now through October 10th. Planet Fitness is proud to partner with Boys and Girls Clubs of America to create stronger, kinder communities. See Home Club for details.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks. Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, we're back. Jay Foreman, DP, OG, Old School with Harrison on the ones and twos. One more segment, short segment. Then I got Jason Peter coming in. Gonna have him in for the rest of the season on a weekly basis, obviously during game week. But DP, I wanted to ask you this, man. This is a funny thing. This will go right in line with
wasn't me, Shaggy. Wasn't me.
Want to ask you this: the NCAA. There's another article. They put it out there about gambling. Then they said, you know what? We've set up a hotline to call in with anonymous tips if you hear or know a university with NIL violations. So it's essentially they want you to do their job for them, right? Because remember they had the clearinghouse that's overdone, right? They have too many deals. Now I said, you know what, we're just gonna we're not gonna worry about doing our work.
You guys have been honest with us. You guys can keep an eye on this, right? You've been honest the whole time.
Hey, Bama, call us in, tell us about Georgia.
Hey, dial 1-900 NIL NARC. NIL NARC. If you got a secret, dial. It's the NARC hotline. 1-900 NIL NARC. That's funny. Crazy business.
Yeah.
What do you? And then what happened? Hey, from a burner phone.
Her blame.
I mean, how many times is Ohio State going to call in Michigan, Ohio State?
Especially the week of.
Oh, yeah.
The week of. The Red River Shootout.
Oh, Texas and Oklahoma.
I just saw Julian saying putting a crazy bet.
Yeah.
You got a parlay between 5 college teams.
Big bag in the back of the truck, red truck. Here's the license plate number.
He hasn't done a commercial for a said company in 2 years. He needs to be suspended. Now, what are you going to do after? I mean, what are you going to do? Say you call and it's a good tip or not. You're going to call and say,
"Where's the end?
Can we have the money back?" Negative, ghostwriter. That pattern is full. You're not playing? Oh, yes, I am. I mean, but I think it became, once again, I like the thought of having a clearinghouse to kind of clean up the NIL.
That was the best idea they had.
And then, then you have the red sharing. So that's the thought of it. But then were you not staffed correctly?
No, you got one operator. You got one operator answer the phone. Hello, NIL hotline.
What was that? What's the dude's name? Bernie Madoff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Remember when they did his movie and they said he had his accountant like in that room that with no windows.
Yeah.
And then he buzzed on the phone. He would come out, but when you went into the office, it was just stacks upon stacks of papers.
Yeah.
That's the dude over there declaring.
It's like every bad movie we've imagined, right? That there's a room with phone lines and it just goes straight to voicemail. And somebody answers every once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
There's simplicity in this stuff that if you're willing to do it the right way, it would work. But people just do not want to do. They always want to cut corners. They always want to take the cheap shot. It doesn't always make, like, for me, the compliance, the Big Ten, the conference compliance should be enough to handle these things.
Yeah.
There literally should be a team of people. There's somebody in charge of compliance at every university, every program. That compliance person meets with the conference head. We do it on the high school level. It's the athletic department in the region. So district, region, otherwise, you have to be responsible for, hey, listen, man, we got to report that you're paying players. Well, who gave you the report? That's the wrong answer.
Yeah.
That's the wrong answer.
How'd you find out?
That's the wrong answer. The correct answer is, well, our compliance guy has met. We've reported everything that we need to report, and we haven't done anything.
Yeah.
But as you said, sometimes these universities get so locked into doing the work to maintain their job and their pay rather than doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And it happens too often. Nebraska's in a unique space. I mean, again, you have the revenue stream and you have the player personnel resource. You have an alumni base that covers almost every end of the financial and geographical spectrum. So there's somebody for anybody. You need a Polynesian leader? You got one. Need a black leader from New Jersey? Got one. Need one from Minnesota? Got one. Need one from California? Got one. Need a country boy from Scottsbluff? Got you. Whatever you need, you just have to rally the people and put them in place.
Yeah.
It's not that complicated. It really isn't that complicated. If you had 10 former Huskers who was there to answer questions, notice the blind spot. If Jay Foreman's looking for Nebraska football's blind spots, they're covered. They're covered. And if something goes wrong, Jay Foreman says, hey, man, blind spot. You may not notice, but this thing might be a situation. 10 people doing good work is better than no people with a blind eye.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just interesting that they got a hotline. I just imagine I want to prank call it.
The hotline.
Yeah, man. I seen Kurt Ferentz back.
I want to answer. I want to
call him.
I'm applying for that job. I'm applying. Literally, get the number. I'm applying for that job because I'm taking notes, receipt. I'm recording everything. Because then, hey man, I heard Iowa. Hey Kurt, I just got a phone call, bro. You need to take care of this, and then you need to take care of me first. Yeah. Hey, Michael Laxey, we got a phone call. We got a tip. Look, I'm gonna need a cut. I'm gonna need a percentage. Let me in. Let me answer the phone for this. I'm all in.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It is. I mean, it screams desperation.
It says we're doing this to say you, so you can't say we're doing nothing.
Yeah,
it's their.
It's essentially the smoke screen is like it's CYA again, which it's essentially professional sports. You want to make sure we got all the checks and balances. So when you come to us and it didn't work, it's not our fault. It's their fault. But
we got a narc hotline.
Yeah.
What do you want us to do?
Yeah. It's just
Harrison Orange out here saying, man, I want that job. I need that host spot. Hey, DP, I heard Nick was at the club.
You just breaking all types of. Just imagine when the coaches go to whatever conference, Big Ten Media Days, and said school had called on one of their players
in Vegas,
Just imagine, because I think the coaches get together like outside of like when they're doing interviews, they have like a coaches like place they hang out. Just imagine the Ryan Day in there and what's his name that walks in there from Michigan.
More,
yeah. And just to look at each other.
I'd have my remote controlled camera on my milk cup. What did you say? What's going on? How are you?
I mean, just imagine just the text messages and looking at each other, man. You talk about some animosity, boy. It wouldn't be just Greg Schiano hitting him with the pinky with Ryan Day. It'd be personal. Hey, I know you made that payment. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. Well, why'd you tell them? Because we wanted to. Yeah, man. I think that, it's always funny when things come out like this because it's like, all right, we're going to allow you to gamble. But you know what we're doing? We're going to do our good duty of the day, and we're going to have a hotline. So anybody and everybody, if you want to be on the up and up, you can call and tell on. Do you get like certain bonus points? Do you like, all right, you told on 3 schools, so then you get 1 violation?
You got to make a quota.
Yeah, but then you get 1 violation for free?
Yeah, it's a quota. It's a quota.
Upstanding citizen.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that after your 3rd call.
It's like a good driving record.
You're an upstanding citizen.
You got 5 points. You told on 5 schools. So you know what? You got 5 times you can get told on. So
you
like the narco warden?
The school bus patrol. The person with the little orange belt and the little silver badge.
Hallway monitor.
Just walking into stadiums and across the Big Ten conference, just
like,
showing your badge.
You know what they are? They're like the uniform police in the NFL.
Yeah,
that you don't know who they are, but they're watching over there. Like, yeah, your socks are too low. That'd be $5,000. Thank you very much for doing business.
It'll be in your locker.
Harrison needs it.
Yeah.
Give me that money. Give me that money.
Right quick before we go to break, Old Dad 34 says, speaking of NIL, Trey Taylor signed the deal with B-Dubs in his hometown. I'm assuming that's food? Restaurant?
Yeah. B-Dubs, Buffalo Wings.
Oh, B-Dubs. Oh. Hey.
Get fed.
Hey, Trey. Hey.
That's an easy one.
Yeah, we need lemon pepper.
That's an easy one.
Yeah.
That's what I always thought NIL was going to be. Like,
Stuff
you're
like
local.
that.
Yeah, because remember when we had, what's his name? He had to deal with the AC company. Because his name was
the coldest.
The Coldest Crawford.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, when the NIL first, I think that's what everyone's like, oh,
Where's
this will be
he
fun.
at now?
He transferred.
You see Jay looking over here.
Look. Probably in the coldest is probably
he at the crib. That's where
I think didn't he go to Louisiana Tech?
The coldest is at the crib. That's where he's just hanging
No,
out.
he's at Louisiana Tech.
Yeah.
All right. I told you, yeah, look, he's at
He
Louisiana
had a
Tech.
touchdown a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, good for him, man.
Yeah.
Good for him. Anyways, we'll take a break. NCAA is on point, like always. Jay Foreman, DP, Harrison. We'll holler at you in a little bit.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to The Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Drink locally and support local business during Lincoln's Craft Beer Week, October 11th through the 18th. Great beer, cider, distillates, and more are made right here in Lincoln. For more info, visit lincoln.org/beer-week. Brought to you by Visit Lincoln. Remember to enjoy responsibly. Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole Ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
When your home fills up with family, Allo Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Allo Fiber experts install it all, and full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters, and the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Allo at 866-481-2556 or visit allofiber.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
This is your year, where your team takes it all the way. Win way more than bragging rights at Warhorse Casino, where your love of the game could put $1 million in your pocket. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with prizes all season long. Weekly cash prizes up to $1,000 cash, season-long leaderboards, and a chance to win $1 million. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinnie Krekak of State Farm Insurance.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman? My man Harrison on the ones and twos, 1040 O Street, live in effect. Old school on The Ticket. Quick segment here before we get to the 5 o'clock hour. Harrison, over under, Bill Belichick is in North Carolina this time next year. Yes or no? I wouldn't say over, no, over.
Yeah, I was gonna
say over
say,
under, but yes.
no. I was just reading the tweets. I'm still trying to catch up on it, but I was like, one person said this is happening, then you have 2 people, and then you have 3, and now some of the major networks. And Bill Belichick hasn't been necessarily denying any of it. He's kind of been pulling back. I don't know what's all going on, but it seems more real than fake at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get anything out of Bill Belichick.
No.
Hey, listen, if there's one dude we rob a bank with, that's him.
Yeah, that is true.
With
You
Jay
could do
there,
some
you know,
devious stuff with Bill Belichick, and he won't
just
tell us.
mumbling through it. He just, but Yeah, I mean, there's I guess people out there saying that he potentially could get bought out. He had that weird. It was weird that he was the acting head coach, but hadn't signed his contract, and then he had a clause in there that he could get out at a certain point. There was even questions whether he was going to go to the NFL even after he didn't get hired in that first cycle, or wait another year. I mean, it's just really interesting the way his contract is done. The people he has in place. He has two of his sons on staff. He has Mike Lombardi, is like his GM. You're there. You kind of redid the whole kind of university. I know they have a lot of money down there, but like, dang, man, you just got there. You recruited all those players, your type of players. It'd be unless it's something major, because you can chalk up any type of violations right now. It's just that he doesn't know.
Yeah. How bad are those violations?
Yeah. Are they bigger violations now because you aren't winning?
Yeah.
Or, there's you got.
Well, there's like 70 new dudes on the team. This team was going to stink probably.
Right.
And the opening game versus TCU.
But, Harrison, the athletic director supposedly didn't want Belichick.
Mm-hmm.
The president did, right?
Well, because who's the last coach? Brown? No.
Matt Brown.
Yeah. He was actually doing all right. I mean, UNC
made a bowl
wasn't.
game?
Yeah, and that's for UNC.
It was a little down year for them, but I mean, they made a bowl game. They were, obviously competitive. They had a couple, guys drafted really high, and Mac Brown was a little older, but remember he got fired like during the midweek. They didn't even want to let him coach the last game. The athletic director didn't want Bill Belichick. Powers that be did. Now it's like, I told you so. Okay, you're right. How can we get out of this? How can we make this right? But I think eventually, if they get past this initial season, whether it's one or two more seasons after, I think he'll have some sort of success because he's too good of a coach, X's and O's, outside of all the other stuff that not to be successful. So
if he can make it through the season, though,
right,
that point,
it's a great place to be. I mean, it's a hotbed for talent. You got a lot of financial support, so hopefully he's able to get it going. But anyways, that's our second hour. My man Harrison on the ones and twos. Appreciate DP coming in, giving his thoughts on some of the stuff going on in the NCAA. We'll take a quick break. Come back. We'll be at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. Old School, 937 The Ticket.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole Ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
When your home fills up with family, Allo Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Allo Fiber experts install it all, and full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters, and the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Allo at 866-481-2556 or visit allofiber.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Tune in every Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. for The Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters. Sit back and enjoy listening to Dr. Chatters discuss real stories involving struggle, inspiration, and real-life experiences with special guests and insights. Remember, the higher the pressure, the greater the lift. The Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters. Every Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
This fall, Baumgars has everything you need to get your farm ready for the season. Don't miss Fall Discount Day this Saturday, October 11th, for one day only. Get 17% off regular priced items. That's right, 17% off. From the barn to the backyard, Baumgars has you covered for all your field, farm, and fall fix-ups. Some exclusions apply. See a store associate for details. Baumgars, what you need, when you need it.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Mike Smith, founder of The Bay. Join me every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. for your weekly Disrupt, where me and local misfits will interrupt your drive time with this week's most interesting stories in sports, entrepreneurship, and culture. So tune in to your weekly Disrupt every Tuesday afternoon on 93.7 The Ticket, where disruption is just a phone call away.
Imagine hitting rewind on your life 10, even 20 years with testosterone therapy from Limitless Male. You can turn back the aging clock and get your edge, energy, and confidence back. If you've lost your drive, sleep deprived, muscle loss, belly fat, irritable, you're not the guy you once were. Get your T levels checked at Limitless Male. More and more men are realizing hormone replacement can turn back the clock. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmale.com.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches, too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinny Krekak of State Farm Insurance.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning. Now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? Happy Wednesday. Jay Foreman back again, third hour with my man Harrison on ones and twos. This is like a take the cool people to work day, man. We got my man. We got a special guest here, Jason Peter, coming in. He'll be in for during the week, after every game. So it was the first official one, but we got the man, the black shirt here. So I don't even need the computer, Harrison. This is awesome because we get to just locker room talk.
Yeah.
Well, within reason. FCC
Yeah, within reason.
Yeah.
Within reason. We got in a little trouble when we were down there at that Omaha World Herald thing. But Jason, there's a lot to cover. Before we get into Nebraska, I want to get your feelings on Millard South. I know you know that Millard South obviously is nationally ranked, and obviously there's a lot of teams obviously in where you're from in Jersey that have been nationally ranked, and you know how it is when they go around and play other schools. Yeah. What's your feeling on Millard South, and then I guess Lincoln and other schools either going to or potentially could forfeit games now based on numbers and some are an injury?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you can be angry at Millard South for doing what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're using the rules to their advantage. You know, you're able to get kids from different areas. So you can't really blame them. But I mean, they clearly are a dominant team. They made life for Westside a little more difficult, right? Because Westside was running the state prior to that. Disappointing to see Lincoln High not want to play.
Right.
You know, I'm sure there are games. I mean, you know, Pacific knew when they were coming in to play us, you know, that things probably weren't going to go well for them. I mean, a lot of teams, you know, probably figured that things weren't going to go well. But you got to show up and you got to play. You know, I mean, I don't know what their numbers are over there. If they're just short on guys, if they are just kind of worried that they're just going to get annihilated. You know, or guys going to get hurt. I mean, but also, you know, like I don't know, it would have been a chance for Millard South to get some younger guys in and play. So, I mean, I don't know if you can play games or not play games based upon, you know, just
potential.
Yeah.
And I think it's, you know, I want to also ask you this: it's maybe the perception versus reality. Nobody knows because we aren't involved with Millard South. Is like I think there's a way that you can handle it. And I've talked to Coach Darlington about this. So they like the coach.
Right.
Now it's different if you don't like the coach.
Right.
Where they were like always trying to turn the gas off, right? You know, kind of just doing enough and then play a lot of the young guys. I think if I'm Millard South, I call Lincoln and say, listen, I'm playing my starters for the first quarter.
Right.
Then I'll put my JV in, but my JV is going to play hard.
They're going to try to score.
Then I'd have a problem with Lincoln not playing. I think the perception, probably unfairly, and this is where I like your point where, you know, you need to applaud Millard South because they're nationally ranked. It's good for everybody.
Right.
It's good for kids that are in 8th grade that potentially could get recruited because they're going to be indirectly associated. Is that the perception is that Millard South going to play their starters the whole time.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they're like, you're missing that part. But
yeah, who did they beat 70-0 or something like that? Just
Lincoln or Southeast.
Southeast, right? So Lincoln High is probably looking at it like, if they want, they could put 100 up on us. Right. Like, but I mean, come on. Like, I don't know if the head coach at Millard South is thinking, okay, we're going to go into this game. We're going to try to score every time we touch the ball. You know, like, but yeah, I mean, I like what you said, you know, about, you know, we'll play our starters for the first quarter, you know, and the other guys will get the rest of the time.
I wonder if there's ever going to be any change. I think the biggest change probably needs to happen probably here, like locally in Lincoln. And we talked about this all the time. You got to be more competitive. You know this. You're from Jersey. You know, I'm from Minneapolis. You know, it's competitive. It's competitive from 6th grade on up. You start to infuse that, and you don't have to break rules. You just got to change that, you know, your vision on high school sports. You can even lock down by the counties if you want, just so you could just, all right, give everybody your fair shot. And if they're truly invested in Millard South, they're going to move there. But I think Lincoln probably needs to find a way to be actively more competitive, both in coaching, development, potentially going into, you know, the middle schools and stuff like that, and then obviously through high schools.
Are the rules set up different in Omaha as opposed to Lincoln, or is it pretty much all the same?
I don't know. You know what? Our text line is good, 402-464-5685. They know.
Right.
Because we get texts all the time about it. There's ways around any rules, but I think also, well, for instance, potentially in Lincoln, is like it's so say like you wanted to be well in the LPS, like just say the Lincoln Public Schools. The perception is that if you're a really good coach, Jason Peters is a really good coach at whatever sport, so you want to do hockey or whatever, that you potentially have to be a teacher.
Right.
I don't think it's that much.
Uh-huh.
You know, first of all, I don't need to be teaching anybody. You know, I don't need to be. I could be a gym teacher, but I think those are the type of things that probably need to be more laxed and then supported, because then you'll be able to catch up faster.
Yeah.
Because if you go to if you just walk around Lincoln on a game day, or go through high schools, there's some good looking athletes out there walking around. You've been to plenty of high schools.
Yeah.
You know, that need to get coached and encouraged to be better, sport, or maybe get involved in the sport.
Yeah.
Make it the cool thing to do. So,
and there's enough money. And I mean, I know you look at like West Side, and clearly they've done well with like fundraising and getting the facilities. I mean, we went up there the other day for a volleyball match, and my daughter got in the car afterwards, and she's like, "Geez, Dad, I didn't know that I went to school in the ghetto compared to West Side." You know what I mean? And Lincoln East is a pretty good school, I think. The facilities seem to be good, but yeah, I mean, there are some schools that have just picked it up. I mean, obviously up the street here, you see. I mean, we've talked about Pius kind of being like a sleeping giant. If they kind of, think about doing some of the things, be more committed to sports and take advantage of some of the rules that, I mean, kind of like how remember Creighton Prep used to be.
Yeah, be like that, way ahead of everybody. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got to think Southwest has a pretty good, they got a nice little parking lot of cars there. You can't judge everything by that, but so there's opportunity there, and there's probably enough potential funding, and maybe you need more facilities around here to train.
And you got to, I think you got to build it too from like that, the middle school level as well, right? Like the programs, the clubs, the teams that the kids are playing for. I know that you got, Woo Woo up there in Omaha, and his deal, the Warren Academy, and places where guys can train and do that sort of stuff. At the same time, like, I'm a big believer in kids should also play multiple sports. Right. I'm not really, one of those guys that's like, yeah, let's do football all year round. I mean, it's a sport that you can get burnt out on really easy, especially for kids that are still kind of, developing physically and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things, I think, when you look at that, at that high school level, that I think have to be done in order to have your high school teams reach that sort of success.
Yeah, that's a lot of good stuff there. I mean, we got some administrators that listen, so I'm sure we'll get some emails and stuff. But on to the Huskers, Jason. They're 4-1, about to go on the road. Before we get into the schemes and all that stuff, talk about. I think one of the things I think it's a young team and their experience, but their inexperience of playing with each other. Talk about the mindset you need when you get on that plane or a bus to go on your first true road game.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't matter if you were young or old. Like when we used to travel, like you got to that bus, and to even just to get to the airport, and everyone was already starting to dial it in, right? Like you were getting locked in. I mean, there's the story of Chad Kelsey and Matt Davison when we're flying out to Seattle to play Washington, and he looks over at Chad, and
I was sitting right there. He was in between us. I was laughing,
and he's like, "So, Chad, you think we're gonna win this game?" And Chad just kind of looked at him, grabbed him by the throat, and like jacked him up against the window in there, and said, "We win. We plan on winning every game." And that's just the mindset. Like, yeah, I mean, you can talk and you can have conversations, but there's nobody's loud. Nobody's laughing out loud. Like, you are starting to dial it in. And then when when your wheel's down, it's even you're dialed in even more. When you get to the hotel, all right, it's dialing in even more. and it just keeps building, 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 building. And I'm sure there were times like Coach Osborne would worry, my gosh, these guys are going to be
Too tight.
too early, like, because we would show up to the stadium and like, I mean, you remember the locker rooms, you didn't hear a mouse fart in those things. If you wanted to listen to music, you had to bring headphones. It wasn't one of those, where you're just you're playing it out loud yeah. So, like when you talk about the young team too, I mean, I don't know, can you look at programs anymore and be like, okay, well, they're young, right? Like, because the way NIL and transfer portal works and everything, like, you're constantly putting a new team together every single year, right?
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, we have a bunch of young guys now, but how many of those young guys are going to stick around, right? Like, you're going to have a lot of guys that probably are like, I think I should be playing, and Kansas State or Old Miss is offering me, $100,000 more. I'm going to go down there and play, and so you're just constantly like recycling and rebuilding. So I don't know if it's like, back in the day, if you ended up with a bunch of young guys that were really talented, maybe, the potential was there more for, to be better, as opposed to, until the older guys are kind of out the door. But now it's like, you're building a new team every year. So I don't know how necessarily you look at like the age of your team.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's just I think sometimes people don't understand the experience of playing with each other.
Yeah.
What we were fortunate enough to do, which made everybody better. I think you won't maybe able to replicate that except for maybe 2 or 3 years. And that's what Ohio State did. They had a bunch of guys that played with each other, kind of bring in some added pieces. Right. Then you're off to the races. I think one of the biggest things that when you go on the road that I learned I remember, I'll never forget when we went down to Oklahoma State. I was a freshman starting. I was like, hey, look, I got is respect. I mean, I was scared, everything, but you got to respect people's space. And the locker room is a very unique like place to whereas some guys, don't listen to any music.
Right.
Some guys bring, and even in college, 3 bags.
Yeah.
You're like, what the hell you got in there? Then like Chad Kelsey, I always mess with Chad. I was like, you got a toothbrush, toothpaste, a pair of socks, and some underwear. He brought his little toiletry bag.
Yeah.
And there's some guys that, wear headphones and all that. So that's where you have to learn when you're inexperienced of playing and traveling with each other. You got to learn that. Now you can kind of circumvent that by knowing your teammates very well. But like you said, you're not turning the roster over, but you're kind of always adding pieces, based on who leaves, to, greener pastures, or like they think, or possibly the NFL. So it's going to be interesting to see, how they move forward on the road.
Yeah. And you mentioned a big part there, I'm not going to say back in the day, but, 15, 20 years ago, I think, guys that only thought of coming out early, it was like if you were going to be a first or second rounder. Right. But now I think guys look at it like, hey, I think the NFL is interested in me. Like, I'm going to dip my toes in there and I'm going to take a shot. Right. Like, you see a lot of guys that will declare for the draft and then not get drafted at all. Right. So even when you're talking about, being young, like you'd love to have those guys play out until their senior years.
Yeah.
Right. But chances are nowadays, a lot of them aren't. So, and then you're missing out on senior leadership, which I think, it's huge, right? Like there's a big difference between a senior that has been through the program for 4 or 5 years, being one-year leaders as opposed to, a sophomore or a true junior or something like that even.
Yeah, been through some battles.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Like you just got to, the only way that you understand is by being through it and being through, team after team and seeing, how the guys, when you were a freshman, how the leaders did it. And then when you're a sophomore, how they did it, and junior. And then eventually, it's your turn. And it's like, well, I saw that guy do it. And that was so effective. And, guys really rallied around that message and, the way that he did this or did that. And I think it's just tough when you're asking guys that have not really been through battles to now all of a sudden lead the team.
You gotta have not get lucky, but you gotta have somebody that really wants to lead. I think the way these kids are these days,
they don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, you see it like I coach basketball. They just, you got practice. We'll be on the road. You have 2 kids go here, 3 go here, 1 by himself, 1 you don't even see all weekend until it's time to, then you have kids sometimes drive themselves, so they're just off doing it.
They don't want to confront one another. Like that's super uncomfortable for them, is to confront one of their peers, right? So they would rather just kind of, keep their head down and, well, I lead by example. Well, that's great to lead by example, but if you're also, one of like the guys, you got to step out of your comfort zone. Like it wasn't easy for you think about all the great leaders that we had, and literally, like, even though there was only 4 that were named captain each year, you could have 20 guys, 30 guys that could have stepped in and filled that role. Because that was just the environment, that was the culture that was created down there by Coach Osborne. And now I think sometimes it's like, well, this guy's supposed to be he's both the best, or we think is the best player, he should be the captain. And it's not always like that. I mean, the biggest example of that is Tommy Frazier not being the captain. And I'm not saying that he shouldn't have been or he should have been. I'm just saying it doesn't always come down to the best player being the best leader.
Yeah, I mean, you see that all the time, especially in the pros. Like, it'll be a special teams guy,
right?
Like a Larry Izzo,
right?
Or like one of those guys, or like Slater that was up in New England for like 18 years. Seems like he played forever. Whoever can capture the team and lead by example, but obviously back their words up by action is going to be huge. Especially for this team coming down the stretch, right? And the stretch is about to start. Jason, these next 3 games are huge just because there's a lot of opportunity there. It's not comparable to obviously when we play, but I want to ask you, the only thing that's comparable is the breakthrough from you were here in 93 and you seen, you were there.
Right.
Then you saw the difference maybe, or whenever the light clicked on in 94. I was here in 94, but you were in it.
Right.
What are some of the things that you saw the difference from? Like, just forget 93, 94, but it's from a team that was somewhat close with a tangible result. Would you get hosed by Florida State, to a team that, all right, they're ready?
I think in order to gain that true belief in yourself and your teammates, you got to win, right? Like you got to win something. That's why I think the Michigan game was so big and was such a game for us to take, right? And the positives that would have come out of that, because now it's not just saying it, right? Like, it's not just the coach up there saying, yeah, I believe in these guys and they believe in it, right? But you can believe in it, right? But until you actually have gone out and done it, right? So I think like that was the big thing, like those 90s teams prior to like us getting there, they would have good regular seasons, right? And then they'd go down, they'd play a Florida team in the bowl game, and there'd just be, like a different level of speed. And I think that was the difference in 93 when we went down to the Orange Bowl and played Florida State. And it was like, we're just as fast as these guys. We can make just as many plays. Now there's like a belief, and then from 93 to 94, it was just, it was just national. Like we didn't talk about it, publicly. We just went about our business, but there was this belief in that locker room that we could play with anybody, we could beat anybody, and that we were planning on winning every one of them next year.
Yeah, it was. I came in and rode the wave. You know what I'm saying? So it was cool. And then after that, but the only thing from as a young player, you learn like, all right, well, you got to work every day. Right. There is no off days. Yeah. Even as a redshirt, you had to, put in work. But
you remember, like it was, you didn't go to practice thinking, well, I can just half-ass it, or I can have, 5 bad plays, or like, if there was always the threat that Charlie or Kevin Steele
was watching,
that they were watching, and if they saw you loafing, And that would be the worst thing, right? You'd rather just get, completely crushed by a double team or, something, as opposed to one of them seeing you loaf, because they would yank you out. Your job would be on the line. You'd probably get demoted at least for a few days,
Right.
maybe even for the next game. But there was always that voice on your shoulder telling you, if you don't go a million miles an hour this play, and ultimately every play that we did throughout practice, that there was a possibility that if and they're going to see it, whether they see it live or they see it on film,
Yeah.
they're going to see it and they're going to hold you accountable for it.
Yeah. It was. I remember Coach McBride. Like when you're young, he just look at you crazy.
Oh yeah.
And you just sitting there wondering, what is he thinking? And you always think the worst. So.
Right.
And so that was it. Then you think about it for 2 or 3 days.
Oh yeah.
And then he just keep looking at you. And the next thing you know, you're in spring ball the next year. Then you get the dip in your mouth or in your face when he gets mad at you. But Jason, real quick before we go to break, and then we'll obviously dive into this year's team. Talk about the difference maybe in the defensive line play from Michigan to Michigan State. What you saw in a positive way. They seemed like they worked on some things.
Yeah.
And had some better results.
I think they were a little more physical. Now, I mean, obviously you're dealing with, when you're comparing Michigan and Michigan State, an inferior opponent. Michigan State probably not at the level that Michigan is. I didn't think that either offensive line was great. I think Michigan's was better than Michigan State's, but maybe not. Michigan's not up to the standard as, say, like when Jim Harbaugh was there. But against Michigan, I didn't think the D-line did a good job of using their hands. I don't think they were kind of locking blocks out, and that's why it's hard to get off of blocks. And that's why you're seeing, so many of these schools are running just kind of that zone cutback, right? And you got to have separation as a defensive lineman in order to make those plays, because sometimes you're covering, the outside gap. Say, my responsibility is that B gap, and you're kind of working there. But if he cuts it back, right, you got to have your hands on that guy so you can throw the offensive lineman and come back underneath, and you can make a play, say, in the A gap.
Right.
And that's just hard to do when you're not locked out, because offensive linemen, I mean, how when you're in that box, man, if they just get hold of you, they're not letting go. And you're not going to get a call for that unless you're out on the edge and you're getting completely, yanked back inside or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it was a positive. I think they were better than they were the previous week. So that's all you can ask, is that, each day you go out and you get better than you were the day before. But that doesn't mean, if you have expectations for this season, and like we've heard, they've mentioned college football playoff and stuff, like if you want to be a team that makes it that far, then you need to be able to do those fundamental things correctly.
Right.
Like, you're not in this conference, in the SEC, if you don't have 11 guys out there playing with good technique that know what they're doing on every single play, right? Because all it takes, you can play great for if there's 70 plays in a game, you could play great for 69 plays, but that one play that one guy is loafing on or not doing what he's supposed to do, that might cost you the game.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I mean, I don't think a lot of people really understand everybody thinks the offense needs to score, but it's the pressures on the defense, because you're always playing defense, but
right.
They're at an advantage before the ball is even snapped. And so that's why you have to be so fundamentally sound. And communication has to be, at its highest. So we're going to take a quick break, come back. We'll talk a little bit more about the defense and what to expect against Maryland. I'm going to ask Jason from his experience on how to defense a running quarterback, one that runs just the run, primarily like a Michael Vick or somebody like that, or one that can scramble and then also throw on the run. So Jay Foreman, Jason Peter, Harrison, Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Team takes it all the way. Win way more than bragging rights at Warhorse Casino, where your love of the game could put $1 million in your pocket. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with prizes all season long. Weekly cash prizes up to $1,000 cash, season-long leaderboards, and a chance to win $1 million. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds. High around 67. Tonight, clear skies and light and variable winds, below around 45. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with a light breeze, happening high near 69. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Drink locally and support local business during Lincoln's Craft Beer Week, October 11th through the 18th. Great beer, cider, distillates, and more are made right here in Lincoln. For more info, visit lincoln.org/beer-week. Brought to you by Visit Lincoln. Remember to enjoy responsibly.
Tune in every Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. for The Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters. Sit back and enjoy listening to Dr. Chatters discuss real stories involving struggle, inspiration, and real-life experiences with special guests and insights. Remember, the higher the pressure, the greater the lift. The Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters. Every Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Imagine hitting rewind on your life 10, even 20 years. With testosterone therapy from Limitless Male, you can turn back the aging clock and get your edge, energy, and confidence back. If you've lost your drive, sleep deprived, muscle loss, belly fat, irritable, you're not the guy you once were. Get your T levels checked at Limitless Male. More and more men are realizing hormone replacement can turn back the clock. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmale.com.
Are you ready to transform your body and your life in just 10 weeks? At Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, our kickboxing challenge combines heart-pumping cardio, strength training, and proven nutrition coaching to deliver real results. Lose fat, gain strength, and feel more confident than ever. Spots are limited. Don't wait. Join the next Farrell's 10-week challenge starting October 11th and take the first swing towards a healthier, stronger you. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, results, not excuses. Join today, fxblincoln.com. That's fxblincoln.com.
Hey, Husker fans, Max 10 is turning up the excitement this season. They're giving away a pair of Husker volleyball tickets, and every time you tan, you're entered to win. Experience the 2025 season tour featuring high-pressure tanning, rejuvenating red light therapy, and flawless spray tanning, all for just $20.25. Look good, feel amazing, and cheer on the Lady Huskers in style. Max Tan, take it to the max.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740. MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com. Comfort food, but make it vegan. At Rutabagas, they're serving all your crave-worthy classics. Mac and cheese, loaded nachos, Philly cheesesteaks, all 100% plant-powered and 100% delicious. Catch them at their cozy spot at 70th and Vine or find their food truck rolling through the streets of Lincoln. So whether you're vegan, veg curious, or just hungry for comfort food with a twist, Rutabagas has a plate waiting for you. Find them on Instagram for their food truck location and specials. Rutabagas, where comfort meets compassion.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman? Got a special guest. It could be a weekly guest now. So we got Jason Peter Harrison on the ones and twos, Old School, the Black Shirt edition. We got Black Shirt wrap up. We'll make up some name for it. But, you know, one of the things you face a Maryland team that's always going to have athletes. You know, the DMV and in Pennsylvania and all the places they recruit. They're all Mike Loxley can recruit. So you always got your work cut out for us, no matter who you play, but in particular a team like this at home. I'm from Jason. I'm from the mindset running quarterbacks. I'm not gonna never scared us. Never scares me just because I feel like, you know, we were athletic enough that we didn't have to worry about it. We had Terrell Farley's and all them, but then also I was blessed enough to have coordinators that we kind of schemed up and put the pressure, took actually the onus off of sacks versus team defense. Yeah. So it never really hurt us. Right. But from a defensive lineman perspective, talk about the difference of facing a running quarterback and then maybe a running quarterback that, like when Russell Wilson was really good, that can run and looks to throw on the run.
Well, it was funny. I think my second or third year was maybe it was my last year. I'm not sure when what year Mike Vick come in.
I don't know, but he was a problem.
Yeah, I had never seen defensive coordinators start to panic, you know, until he was on the game tape of you know, your next week's game. Yeah, you know, the thing is, like, you just got to know that you got to have lane integrity when you're playing guys that can tuck that ball and can run. So even, you know, in pass situations, you can still work the edges, but it's got to be quick, right? Like, you can't do this like prolonged kind of club rip to the outside where the offensive lineman's just kind of riding you and you're trying to lean hard in on it, right? Because quarterback's just going to take it and he's going to run. Once that seam is created and that crease is created in the defense, then, you know, you've got corners that are running downfield with their backs turned to the quarterback. You got linebackers that are dropping. So the front really has to do a good job of staying in your lane and just kind of collapsing that pocket. So a lot of bull rushes that you got to be able to do. But again, you got to be able to use your hands, even in those bull rushes, because you got to be able to either go left or go right. Depending on what you think that quarterback's going to do. Defensive ends just can't rush up the field and run by, behind the quarterback.
Right.
It doesn't just have to be from tackle to tackle. It can be outside the tackle too. If one of those guys gets way up the field, that creates a big seam in the defense. So you have to be aware of it every time you are rushing the quarterback. And it's just that's the reality of it. For the second that you think, okay, I got this, I'm going to beat this guy to the outside, or I'm going to, come underneath on something, you're just going to get washed down. You're going to create this big gap in the front, and the quarterback's going to hit his head on the goalpost.
Yeah, I mean that's we were blessed to have Charlie, but I think when you scheme up and you kind of create a wall, actually running quarterbacks actually panic.
Yeah,
and if your coordinator is the same coordinator I had at Houston,
right.
And Vic Fangio, he's a great coordinator. He's with Philly now, and obviously won the Super Bowl. I remember when we played Mike Vick, and Vic is always kind of like snarky or whatever. But I remember, I'm like, yo, he was up there all night trying to figure out. And I remember one time walking out to practice with him, he was telling me about all the, Mike Vick. I said, Vic, I got to play against him.
Yeah.
You just got to call the plays. And he started laughing. And he was like, well, I'm glad I'm not playing against him. But, also, Jason, I wanted to ask you about, and we talk about it all the time, and we try to educate some of the fans, the difference between, I don't think there's a big difference now in these days because of the way the offenses dictate stuff, but talk about the difference in D-line play of a quote-unquote 3-man front and a 4-man front, because Nebraska runs both. They even ran bear front. Just talk about the difference of the so-called different schemes and then the 3-man and 4-man front.
I mean, I always like the 4-man front. If you have two guys that are in the middle, obviously one of them you'd love to be like kind of that rock in the middle, right? Like Christian was like, he was this stump that, couldn't be moved, but he was also active as well. And then have a 3 technique that maybe is a little more athletic. If you have 2 dudes in the middle, then you can really unleash those outside guys, right? Like our whole mindset was from the interior, from Christian and myself or whoever it was, the 2 defensive tackles, that we were playing run to pass, right? So we always, unless it was third down, obviously, and then you knew, pass was coming. But for like Grant and Jared, those guys went pass to run. So it just enables you to do some other stuff. It kind of depends on, which one is better. Depends on what type of offense you're playing. I think anytime, you have a team that can run the football, it's obviously great to have another big guy out there. But I think when you're in a 3-man front, and it depends, it varies. I know when I got to Carolina and we were basically playing, 3 down linemen, we were kind of more like holding up, those offensive linemen so that the linebackers could run free and they could really run. I mean, those are the guys with the athleticism. So you want those guys being able to run sideline to sideline. But as you watch other teams that run 3-man fronts, a lot of them are active. And it's kind of like, the stuff that Tony White was doing where, you bring up a lot of guys onto the line of scrimmage, like the old Steelers kind of used to do. And that creates a lot of confusion, I think, for the offense. Who's coming, who's dropping? Is this 5 technique long scooping all the way down to A gap?
Right.
Are they running him and the outside linebacker running a stunt? I think they both have their pros and cons. Ultimately, whatever defense you're in, you need guys that play with great technique. Especially up front. Like you just cannot survive up front if you don't know how to play with your hands. Like those are your weapons. Like, so, and especially with the amount of zone that I think teams run nowadays.
With the dual block or whatever. Yeah.
You got to be able to get off of blocks. You got to be able to keep your lane integrity. You got to be able, gap integrity, all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, we've seen Nebraska do some of both this year. I don't know. You're the guy that's kind of behind everything. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you like to see?
Well, I think it's different based on, like you said, who you're playing, who your personnel is. Like I came in, like I played 4-3 here, go to Buffalo, we're 3-4.
Right.
Well, you got Ted Washington in there at middle, along with Bruce Smith. So I had two guys that are Hall of Famers that they got a game plan for. So I was just doing whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
I could misread some, run over there and make a play because Ted was going to handle it. Then I went to Houston. And we had 3-4 personnel, but we ran a lot of four. We ran odd front, which is just a 0 and 2 5s. But then we ran some over and under front,
Right,
and majored in it.
Yeah.
And then we play, a lot of nickel and stuff like that. I think the biggest thing is like what you talked about with hands. In my opinion, I think the D line and linebackers are married together.
Right.
You can't have a defensive line that's really good, fundamentally sound, and then linebackers are undisciplined. If you teach hands with defensive line, you got to teach it with linebackers. The reason why I think is because there's two, and I think you need to do it both ways. I think there's some defenses you want them to, D-line to rip up field and do whatever.
Right.
Then that means the linebackers have to do the same.
Right.
Or if you teach it the opposite, is because when you're playing against a lot of these zone schemes where they're trying to stretch you sideways and get vertical, everybody's almost got a two gap, but you got to be aggressive. You got to be able to play your gap, fall back. And if everybody's doing in unison, there is no running game at all. But when you have one guy out of sorts or forgets what he's supposed to do in a certain scheme, that's where you run into trouble. Then it kind of like, it's like a bad, like omen that goes through the defense. Everybody starts to guess. And that's where you got to really, know the why. And that's what Nebraska's going to have to do when they play against Maryland. When you hear Coach Mike Locksley says they think they can run the ball, that's essentially he's like, we're going to try to run it. I wanted to ask you about Dante Culpepper because this is kind of what this quarterback reminds me of. I remember playing in that game. Remember you hear how big he is and all that in Central Florida. Talk about playing against Dante Culpepper and talk about how we had to attack him because we were coming in there. We got to hit him low.
Yeah.
But he's 6'5". What was he? 6'5"?
He was 6'4", 6'5", something like that. Yeah.
Something, right? Fast too. Talk about that because that little tip that Charlie gave is like, you got to hit this dude low was almost like, dang, I looked at his legs. I was like, that dude has some tree trunks. He's built like a D lineman. Talk about that because I think Nebraska might have to take on that mentality facing Malik Washington.
Yeah, that's tough. Dante was like you said, he was a big dude. There were a couple times that I feel like I had him back there in the backfield and just he was one of those guys that, not like some of the other quarterbacks where you just kind of bear hug him and you can take him down. He was strong. Like you said, his legs were big, but he could also run. So, yeah, I mean, you want to get to a guy. I mean, Dante wanted to throw the ball, but he could run. So, the pass rush has got to be good. But at the same time, you also have to do all the lane integrity and all that stuff. So those guys create challenges, I think, when you play. And like you said, this kid from Maryland is a big body kid who can sling it. And he can also run. Really talented runner. And I think, we've always had problems, I think, here over the last 20 years with quarterbacks that can run. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to create some issues, but nothing that you can't overcome. I just think at the end of the day, everybody, like you said, needs to be in tune with one another. I know, even when talking about the run game and kind of the zones and stuff like that, like they teach it a little differently now. I know lots of coaches, if a guard is trying to reach a 2 technique or a 3 technique, kind of to the outside, sometimes they just want that defensive tackle to get upfield, right? Well, then the linebacker better, he's got to be coming. He better be coming because if that defensive tackle gets up the field and can force that cutback, well, he's cutting back kind of, so all the flow, all that stuff has to be kind of locked in tune with one another. But yeah, those and not to say that we never had, issues with mobile quarterbacks. I mean, I remember even remember Todd Doxson down at Iowa State.
Yeah, Michael Bishop too.
Michael Bishop.
He was a problem.
I mean, those guys, it's tough. And you need depth, I think, on the defensive line, especially when you're trying to rush guys like that. So I would imagine that we would get some sort of rotation going for this game, because you need fresh legs, especially when you're talking about another guy that's got wheels on him that can run, because everybody's got to be running after the football as well. It's not can't be like Chris Jones the other night.
Chilling,
just chilling on the 5-yard line watching, what's his name go in.
I mean, in the NFL, it's a little bit, he makes so much money, you can't say much, but man, Charlie would be.
I mean, that was hard to watch. He could have. I'm not going to say he would have made the play, but he would have definitely had a chance to make the play.
And the worst thing is, because you never know.
Yeah,
you never
that's
know.
right.
But what we know is we're up against the break. We're gonna come back. I'm gonna ask Jason what he wants to see, or what he expects to see, or has to see for Nebraska to pull out the victory in a short segment. Jay Foreman, Jason Peter. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Imagine hitting rewind on your life 10, even 20 years. With testosterone therapy from Limitless Male, you can turn back the aging clock and get your edge, energy, and confidence back. If you've lost your drive, sleep deprived, muscle loss, belly fat, irritable, you're not the guy you once were. Get your T levels checked at Limitless Male. More and more men are realizing hormone replacement can turn back the clock. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmale.com.
Hey, Husker fans, Max 10 is turning up the excitement this season. They're giving away a pair of Husker volleyball tickets, and every time you tan, you're entered to win. Experience the 2025 season tour featuring high-pressure tanning, rejuvenating red light therapy, and flawless spray tanning, all for just $20.25. Look good, feel amazing, and cheer on the Lady Huskers in style. Max Tan, take it to the max.
Comfort food, but make it vegan. At Rutabagas, they're serving all your crave-worthy classics. Mac and cheese, loaded nachos, Philly cheesesteaks, all 100% plant-powered and 100% delicious. Catch them at their cozy spot at 70th and Vine, or find their food truck rolling through the streets of Lincoln. So whether you're vegan, veg-curious, or just hungry for comfort food with a twist, Rutabagas has a plate waiting for you. Find them on Instagram for their food truck location and specials. Rutabagas, where comfort meets compassion. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village. Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, Apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740. All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Mike Smith, founder of The Bay. Join me every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. for your weekly Disrupt, where me and local misfits will interrupt your drive time with this week's most interesting stories in sports, entrepreneurship, and culture. So tune in to your weekly Disrupt every Tuesday afternoon on 93.7 The Ticket, where disruption is just a phone call away.
This fall, Baumgars has everything you need to get your farm ready for the season. Don't miss Fall Discount Day this Saturday, October 11th, for one day only. Get 17% off regular priced items. That's right, 17% off. From the barn to the backyard, Baumgars has you covered for all your field, farm, and fall fix-ups. Some exclusions apply. See a store associate for details. Baumgars, what you need when you need it.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese, with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Jay Foreman, Jason Peter, quick segment before we turn it over to Bill Mitchell and Lighthouse. They always do it, bring in good light, man. Bill's a good dude. But before that, hour goes by quick, Jay. So we got to make sure we get busy every week from here on out. But moving forward, or I guess this weekend, what do you want to see from Nebraska after, showing the will to win against Michigan State?
I think this is the sixth game of the season now. You got to start to see them do the little things right, or not do the little things wrong, right? Like the jumping off sides, the missed tackles, stuff like that. It's time to start locking it in and start showing what type of team you actually are going to be, right? Are you going to be one of these that doesn't show up for quarters at a time? Are you going to be, the type of team that has guys jumping off sides on the 2-inch line? Are you going to be a team that you have the running back pretty much wrapped up behind the first down marker, and then ultimately he gets breaks away? Because if you're talking about being a team that maybe can somehow get to the college football playoff, you can't do that sort of stuff. You can't make those mistakes, right? Like we got to start kind of dialing it in here and showing up for 4 quarters and taking care of business. Teams that you're more talented than overall, you got to beat, and they can't. Like I don't buy into the whole every game in the Big Ten is going to be a 1-score game. Like I'm pretty sure Ohio State doesn't have 1-score games. I'm pretty sure. Well, Penn State obviously disappointing this last week, but now you got 2 teams that are a threat for Nebraska, because you got to play UCLA and you got to play Penn State, and I'm guessing Penn State's going to refocus here, right? But now you got UCLA with more confidence. But I want to see them start to do the little things right. Get off the field on 3rd down, run the football, because at the end of the day, and you saw how the weather was an issue this past week against Michigan State with the wind, right? And we're not even in bad season yet.
Yeah.
You know, like you got to be able to run the football. You got to have something. You got to be able to protect the quarterback. You got to be able to run the football. You got to be able to stop the run. You got to be able to get after the quarterback. These are things like if you're going to be a good team, you got to be able to do those things.
Yeah, I think, I mean, you're 100% right. And I think to even double down on it, I mean, I want you to see to do the little things longer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're doing them better in short spurts. Do it longer and sustain drives.
Yeah.
Really, I think right now you need to it's almost like when you get to like game 6, maybe 7, your whole mentality on like how a football game goes.
Right.
It's got to be like, all right, we got to try to bleed these guys,
Right.
Down. Like, if you had 10 possessions against, total possessions or 12 possessions against Cincinnati in the beginning,
Right.
and, the funny season, now you're thinking like, let's try to shrink this bad boy to
Right.
9 and or whatever, 10, and we got 6 of them.
Yeah.
And so if you can do that, then you make the game becomes easier because I think Nebraska getting off the bus got an advantage. So we'll see here in about 72 hours. And then when Jason comes back, we always victory and think about the black shirts. But for my man Jason J. Foreman, the black shirt edition, old school, we'll holler at you tomorrow.
Load up on meat and